And we're now 8 games into the season, which is a quarter because, you have 32 games, 31, and then 1 game guaranteed in the A-10 tournament no matter what. So we're a quarter of the season through. Now we reevaluate some of the things that we thought we were going to be really excellent at, and some of the things we've struggled at. And we like a lot of things that we've been doing, and then obviously we don't like some of the things that we've been doing. And after a trip like that, we really evaluate our personnel, our system, and for us, it's a great opportunity to recalibrate. We had a couple of fantastic team meetings and film sessions, guys holding themselves accountable, including myself. And now we're going to simplify a lot of things, which is great. And we played some really good teams, so it was a good experience for us to see where we're at currently and what we need to continue to work on.
Coach, obviously UNH, FDU, UAlbany, a lot of these last 5 games in non-conference, a different caliber of opponent. Just what are you looking for out of your team specifically? How can you guys play the best brand of Fordham basketball that you can?
Yeah, we're looking to get 1% better every day, starting with yesterday, then today. We're focused on today. We're not really focused on who the next opponent is. We're our own opponent at the moment, so we need to continue the process of learning how to trust one another. Communicate has got to be the number one thing we do, and you build trust off of communication, and not just talking, but listening. And that's something that we've talked about. We continue to work on. Practice yesterday was fantastic. We're looking to have an energetic, fantastic practice again today, going to New Hampshire, and just continue the process of getting better. Our goal will never change. It's always to be the best team we can be by the end of the year. And I promise that if we become the best team we can be by the end of the year, this group specifically, it has the potential to be the best one that we've had yet because of the depth and the individual talent. But without connectivity, which we're working on, talent and depth really doesn't matter. And this group knows that. So we believe we're going to be the best team we can be by the end of the year because we're just trying to get better each and every day. If we do become the best team we can be by March, I'm really excited about what this team could produce.
Jameer Tribb obviously starting on minutes restriction when he came back off the injury and has slowly started to make his way back into the rotation. How important is he for this team, specifically as a scoring option?
Yeah, I mean, he's so talented. Now he's shooting the ball at a very high clip, something he's worked on a lot. So he's scoring from all 3 levels. He's playing pretty much every position. You're going to see him in a lot more of the one position moving forward. And, he's starting to get in better shape, and he understands that he's got to get in elite shape, and we need him to be on the floor as much as possible. He's got to defend and rebound like everybody else a lot better because we can't continue to trade baskets. Our identity is defending and rebounding, and that's something we're struggling with. We don't want to look to outscore teams. Tripp gives us an opportunity to score at a high level, but we need to do a much better job collectively on the defensive end.
Thank you, Coach.
Go Rams.
Welcome back inside the Rose Hill Gym, just moments away from tip-off here between Fordham and New Hampshire. Nick Guzman here alongside Chaz McAdams. And Chaz, we heard Coach Urgo talk a lot about what needs to change from that Sunshine Slam tournament down in Daytona Beach. You were there in person to see those 2 games, the losses to Penn State and San Francisco. In your mind, what did you see in those efforts?
Fordham just needs to play more Fordham basketball. Again, Coach Urgo is saying it best. They're scoring the ball, but that's not what they need to worry about. They need to worry about defending the basketball better, taking care of the basketball, high-efficiency play. Winning the rebounding battle is very important to this team. But again, there were some highlights. Fordham holding an all-college best offense in Penn State to their lowest scoring effort so far at that point in the season. So you can see some highlights so far from that trip down to the Sunshine Slam, even though they came back from Daytona winless. What the Fordham Rams need to do to excel in these last 5 non-conference games going into that New Year's Eve conference game versus St. Louis here in the historic Rose Hill Gym is to just play high-level, high-caliber, high-speed, high-efficiency basketball for 40 minutes a game, and they will have no problems.
And Fordham can come into this game at 3-5, having lost 3 straight. New Hampshire 2-8. The 2 wins coming against Endicott and UMass Boston, both Division III teams. We have starting lineups for you for both teams, starting with the Rams. It's a different-looking starting 5. Jaffe Medor, Ramad Dean, Jackie Johnson III, Jameer Tribb, Abdu Tamil. There's no Will Richardson missing today due to personal reasons, so a different-looking starting 5, Chaz.
And yeah, you heard what Keith Urgo said. Jameer Tripp wants to get some looks at the one. That's what he played in high school down in here local Brooklyn high school circuit. So we're going to see a lot more looks of Jameer Tripp as an on-ball handler, which bodes well for the shoot-first guards in Jackie Johnson III and Jaffe Medor. And then you also love to see the continuity of Romadine, one of the only starters that has been consistent so far in that lineup. Just a high-energy, high-caliber player that can get this team a bucket whenever they need.
And then on the New Hampshire side of things, this is a Wildcats team that's had a lot of injuries to deal with this season, a lot of different looking starting fives as they move through their non-conference schedule. But for them, their starting five: Khalil Badru, Anthony McComb III, Davide Poser, Emmanuel Akpomo, and Jawari Hamlin. That's the five for the New Hampshire Wildcats, looking for their first win against a D1 opponent this year.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, it's all about Anthony McComb III. The way he's able to score at all three levels, the way he's able to lead this team from the backcourt and push the ball. This is a run-and-gun team that loves to shoot the three and loves to push the ball at a high pace, which is honestly the perfect way for the Fordham Rams to play. You know, when the game gets sloppy, when it gets in the mud, rough and tumble, that's when the Rams succeed.
As Chaz mentioned earlier, just 5 non-conference games to go for these Fordham Rams before the real games start in Atlantic 10 play in the new year. We're just about set for opening tip. It will be Timbila against Akpomo, Fordham in white, New Hampshire in the dark blue. Timbila wins the tip back to Jameer Tripp, and we're underway. The Rams attacking from right to left. In front of us, Jaffe Medor at the script Fordham logo. Bounce pass to the left wing, Jameer Tripp. Hand up high for Ramad Dean, broken up well by Badru. Out on the far side now, it's Medor with the screen up high from Timbila. Medor lost the ball at the free throw line. It's a scramble. New Hampshire comes out with it. They get the steal. Back the other way comes Hamlin. Poked away from behind by Medor. Tripped the other way for Dean. Lost the handle in the front court. He'll settle things down. Pass deflected out of play by Badru, who rose up to tip that one.
And again, some fast play. You know, both these teams love to run up and down the court, use all 94 feet to their advantage. But you love to see Jaffe Medor not giving up on the play. The graduate captain making a play for his guys.
30 seconds in, no score here at the Rose Hill Gym. Jackie Johnson on the far side wing gets the screen from Abdu Timbila. Johnson looking to attack. Feeds the far wing. That's Ramad Dean. He'll launch the triple and connects.
That seems like the tale of the tape so far this season. How many games have we seen started with a Ramad Dean three-pointer, setting the tone for the Rams?
3-0 Fordham a minute in. Ramad Dean gets them on the board. Hamlin straight away against Johnson. Gets to the lane, attacking now against Tripp. Retreats back towards the perimeter on the far side wing. McComb for Badru. Still on the outside. 10 seconds to shoot. Poser working against Medor. Poser, pass deflected by Medor. Tripp went down for it. Ball deflected into the Fordham bench. It'll stay here with New Hampshire. 4 seconds on the shot clock for the Wildcats.
And that is Fordham basketball. Any 50-50 balls, any loose balls that are out of possession of anyone, you're going to see white jerseys hitting the hardwood here at the 100-year-old Rose Hill Gym.
New Hampshire will inbound in front of the Fordham bench. They have 4 seconds to shoot here. Poser gets it in. Hamlin's got to go quickly. He'll try the three off balance. Nowhere close. Off the rim and out. Rebound Ramad Dean. Jaffe Medor the other way on the far side. Beats the post for Timbila. Timbila against Akpomo. Timbila spins with the lefty hook. It's perfect from Abdu Timbila.
Look at that footwork on the block. Abdu Timbila on an island, making his presence felt.
5-0 Fordham early. Almost a walk in the backcourt there from Hamlin. New Hampshire able to advance the ball, though. Badru against Dean in the lane. Trying to back him down. Kicks back up top for Poser. Driving on Johnson to the near side wing here for McComb. McComb gets inside, blocked away by Timbila, but it's going to roll through. That ball hung up on the rim after Timbila got his hand on it. Eventually falls through, and New Hampshire's on the board.
Unlucky. That's a lucky bucket there for New Hampshire, but again, setting the tone, breaking the seal early.
17:45 to go in the first half. It's 5-2 Fordham. Trouble for Johnson on the perimeter, stolen away. They're going to call Jackie on the foul. He grabbed a hold of McComb as he tried to go the other way on the fast break.
Yeah, McComb, again, getting a great job using the double teams to their advantage. A little parody of basketball there. Fordham likes to use that tactic, again, trapping people in the corners off of weak ball screens.
Turnover there for the Rams and the foul on Johnson. 17:40 to go in the first half. Fordham 5, New Hampshire 2. This is Hamlin at the logo. Watched closely by Jackie Johnson. Attacks up the middle, dish out to the far side. McCombs open for three, too strong. Dean comes down with the board. Up ahead to Johnson on the far side, across the timeline. Johnson will pop the long three, he buries it. Jackie Johnson's on the board. 8-2 Fordham.
And that's why you put Jackie Johnson III out there, to go get buckets whenever he can. Great play from the graduate transfer.
Hamlin in the backcourt here for New Hampshire. 3 minutes gone in this first half. Fordham 8, New Hampshire 2. Hamlin, that's going to be a double dribble.
I was almost like, how did he get back like that? And then, yeah, obviously called for the carry there, getting the ball under his hand. Jackie Johnson, veteran guard, played at 3 colleges in 4 years, not going to get trapped by some trickery like that if it's legal.
If it looks too smooth to be true, it probably was too smooth.
Yeah, it was too good to be true. That was a monster carry there out of Hamlin.
The turnover for the Wildcats. Medor has it in the front court for the Rams. Bounce pass out to the near side wing for Jackie Johnson. Further into the corner for Dean. Push back up high for Tripp. And spread out to the far side for Medor. Hard screen up high from Timbila. Dean drives down low. The jump step. Dean got it in the air. Timbila will tip it up and in. 10-2 Fordham. They're off to a fast start here against New Hampshire. In the backcourt, more pressure from Johnson on Hamlin. Hamlin drives to the baseline, picks up his dribble, kicks out for Poser. Into the lane on Timbila. Pass down low, stolen away by Dean. Trip up ahead to Medor. Medor goes all the way. Fordham by 10.
Doing his best Isaiah Whitehead impression, Jelly Fam here in NYC. Jaffe Medor making his presence felt for the Wildcats.
4 minutes gone by in this first half. The Rams with a 10-point lead. It's 12-2. Hamlin. Johnson lost his balance on the outside. Feed down low. Stolen away again by Tripp. Tripp ahead for Medor. Gets there first to the corner for Johnson. Back up high for Dean. Fakes the triple. Dean out to the far side wing for Medor. Drives on the baseline. Got some separation. Down low for Timbila. Lost the handle. Last touch off Abdu. That'll be a Fordham turnover.
And a tough turnover there. But this Fordham team coming out looking like a cohesive unit defensively, making Nathan Davis's ball denial defense on the wings pay with their strong post presence for Abdu Timbila. Great play all around for the Rams.
That will take us to our under 16 media timeout with 15:41 to go in the first half. It's Fordham 12, New Hampshire 2. You're listening to Fordham men's basketball on WFUV Sports.
What's up, everyone? I'm Evan Harkin, your New York Jets beat reporter for the 2024 season. Stay up to date with all things white and green from MetLife Stadium. From Aaron Rodgers touchdowns to Sauce Gardner interceptions, I've got you covered. So join me and Gang Green on Twitter at Ev Harkin and stay locked in with the JETS on WFUV, your home for New York sports.
Welcome back inside the Rose Hill Gym. A fast start for the Rams here. They lead New Hampshire 12-2 with 15:41 to go in the first half. And for the first time this afternoon, we'll check in with the third member of our crew. It's Gabby Price. Gabby, what do you got for us?
Thank you, Nick. Well, the Rams have come off a few tough games heading into today's matchup, but that has not affected the energy so far. A lot of it is coming from Coach Keith Ergo, who before the game mentioned that they are only focused on playing their best today and blocking everything else out. Coach Ergo has been very active, walking up and down the bench, keeping his squad engaged and walking away smiling after Jackie Johnson III made a three. With it being the last day of Thanksgiving break, the Rams are missing their student section, who normally help provide the energy that Fordham needs. But if Fordham can create their own energy from the bench and not just rely on outside sources, it will be a testament to just how confident and self-sufficient this Fordham team can be.
Thanks so much, Gabby. 12-2 Rams with 15:41 to go in the first half. And like she mentioned, student section pretty much empty, but that's something you'd expect the last day of Thanksgiving break here before students return to campus. So the Fordham bench going to have to create their own energy, and they have so far with the fast 12-2 start.
Yeah, this is a high-energy team. They play high-energy basketball. It's just getting to a point of where that can translate into actually, like, good dynamic wins, Nick Guzman. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely a sense of when you get high energy and too high pace, too fast basketball, you can kind of trip over yourself a little bit. If this Fordham team can find that healthy balance of high energy but also high efficiency basketball, almost nothing's going to be able to stop him down the stretch.
Fordham pressuring here in the backcourt with the pressure from Jackie Johnson. Sammy Pieces just on the court, lost the handle, then ran into Jamir Tripp, and that's going to be a foul on Pieces.
All these poke ball steals, weak ball handlers here out of the UNH Wildcats, which Keith Ergo looks and sees barbecue chicken. You know he loves to blitz off those ball screens. I'm sure we'll see those adjustments on the defensive end. Should be a good day for the Rams.
Already 5 first forced turnovers for Fordham on defense. Tripp gets the screen up high from Zona. For Zona down low, up high, Rivera, the straightaway triple, off front iron and out. Rebound New Hampshire. Pieces back the other way for the Wildcats. Pieces for Caleb Middleton. To this near side wing for McComb at the free throw line, working against Johnson. McComb down low. In the post, it's Middleton. Zona right there defending. Pieces lost the handle on the baseline. That's out of bounds. Last touch off him. Fordham basketball.
Fordham, again, playing their game. High octane, high efficiency defense, making UNH give them the ball rather than going out and taking it. And then on the offensive end, just pushing it 94 feet to the basket.
For Fordham, Jackie Johnson will check out. Zach Riley into the game for the first time. 14:50 to go in this second half. It's 12-2 Rams. On the far side, this is Jaffe Mador with the screen up high from Matt Zona. Pushed out to the wing, that's Jamir Tripp. He'll bury the three. Jamir Tripp knocks down the triple. 15-2 Rams. 14:35 to go in the first half. Pieces across the timeline. Pair number zeros working against each other against Mador. Pieces up high from Middleton, swung out to the far side wing. The drive down low. Posaire got caught with it. Tripp right there. They're able to escape with McComb on the far side. McComb drives to the lane around Riley. Strong move, couldn't get the roll. Rebound Matt Zona, and Mador the other way across the timeline. Mador for Rivera on the far side wing. Another screen from Zona. The near side wing for Zach Riley, pushed up high again for Tripp, and further out to the far side for Jaffe Mador. The feed down low for Zona. Pass was over his head. And a whistle on the floor. It's going to be a foul against New Hampshire. It'll stay here for the Rams.
Yeah, it's on the seal there. Matt Zona doing a great job of getting good body position. Oh, foul on Matt Zona. Trying to get body positioning there on the UNH defense. Tough one to go, especially when you're doubled.
Good call, Chaz. It's going to be a foul on Zona. So New Hampshire basketball in the backcourt with 13:55 to go in the first half. It's Fordham 15, UNH 2. Fordham.
UNH in a 1-2-1 press. Fordham not used to seeing that in there.
UNH will inbound into Pieces. Now they'll advance the ball up the court here through Hamlin. Working against Riley. Riley with the active hands. Hamlin lost it momentarily, able to get it back on the perimeter. Driving baseline on Zach Riley. Hamlin circles around, still with it. Fakes again. The shot off front rim. Zach Riley stayed with him the whole way as Hamlin tried to do it all himself. The Rams with the rebound. Rivera the other way. Zona wants it up high. Zona fakes the triple. Handoff up top for Riley at the free throw line. He'll try it from mid-range. Too strong off the heel. Rebound by Middleton. And back the other way comes Hamlin for New Hampshire. Into the corner, wide open. That's a three, and that's perfect from Sammy Pieces.
Sammy Pieces, you know, he's one of the main scoring options for this UNH team. If he's left wide open, he's going to make those.
So Pieces bears the triple. It's 15-5 for him. 13 minutes to go in the first half. Tripp driving down low. Picks up his dribble. Strong move with the right hand. Off front iron and out. But Matt Zona cleans things up.
You love to see that out of Matt Zona.
Back the other way come New Hampshire. Posaire up high. This is Middleton. The handoff for Pieces. Pieces will try the straightaway three. Too strong. Josh Rivera clears away the board. Rivera back the other way for the Rams into the front court. They feed the post looking for Zona. Not on the same page. That's out of bounds turnover on the Rams.
Again, looking for positioning. Matt Zona, not your traditional big that likes to get on the block a lot. He shoots the three at a high clip. So he's working throughout this season. Coach Keith Ergo playing him as more of a traditional big, looking to get more positioning down low on the block.
12:34 to go in the first half. Pieces inbounds to Hamlin. Two Rams are right there. Ryan Pettis has the ball, and the Rams get the backcourt steal. It's Johnson with it in the corner. Straight away for Rivera. Pettis comes around the screen. He'll fire the triple. Ryan Pettis knocks down the three. It's 25 Rams.
Beautiful play there from the freshman Ryan Pettis.
Pettis forces the steal in the backcourt along with Johnson, then knocks down the triple. 25 Rams. The other way come New Hampshire. Hamlin forced to pick up his dribble straight away here. This is Pieces. Pieces against Pettis, drives, the righty floater's good. Strong move there from Sammy Pieces from Paris, France. 20-7, the Fordham lead is now. Rivera the other way, drives towards the baseline, got inside and finishes well with the right hand.
That's why you put Josh Rivera on your basketball team. He just knows how to score at will sometimes.
Fordham as a team scoring at will right now. The push off from Hamlin. Johnson went flying and no call to the corner. McComb will try the three off the heel. Pettis the rebound. It comes now to Jackie Johnson. In the front court on the far side wing. The screen from Zona. Pass down low from Johnson. Zona caught up to it. Zona spins in the lane. That's going to be a foul down low against New Hampshire. 11:21 to go in the first half, 22-7 Rams.
Yeah, foul on Middleton there, not letting Zona get any position whatsoever, putting a little too much hand contact. They don't like to see that a lot down low.
So the score's 22-7 Fordham with 11:21 to go in the first half. We'll send it back to our Rose Hill studios for the one-on-one scoreboard with Kurt Zippel.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Starting off with our lone A10 basketball matchup today, UMass played NJIT. Your final score for that matchup was 80-66. The Minutemen ran away with the game. Now let's take a transition from the hardwood to the grass for your slate of the NFL action. Starting off in East Rutherford, the Jets are playing the Seahawks, and the Jets are soaring over the Seahawks 21-13. That's your score from New Jersey. Let's head over to Jacksonville and Everbank Park, where the 2-9 Jaguars are duking it out with the Texans, who are holding on to a short lead with 6-0, the Texans lead. It's a chilly 34 degrees in Foxborough, Massachusetts. The Colts are in a freeze playing the Patriots, 16-14. The Pats are trying to hold on tight to their 2-point lead. Going down to the NFC-AFC competition of the day, the Chargers are in the Benz taking on the Falcons. This game will be a long one, 9-7. The Falcons are leading. Now to the nation's capital. Jaden Daniels and his Commanders are playing the Titans. Commanders are leading 28-0. Last but not least, the Steelers take the short trip up to the Buckeye State to play the Bengals. Your score for that game is tied, 21-21. With your one-on-one scoreboard, I am Kurt Zippel.
Welcome back inside the Rose Hill Gym. Nick Guzman here alongside Chaz McAdams. Fordham off to the fast start here at home against UNH. They lead 22-7 with 11:21 to go in the first half. Chaz, offensively, things clicking well for the Rams, shooting almost 70% from the field, but on defense, they've been all over New Hampshire and swarming.
I mean, this is the kind of game that Keith Urgo loves to see. He said, offensively, we're going to get it done. We've shown that so far this year. Defensively, we're leaving something to be desired. You got guys like Matt Zona getting aggressive for rebounds. Zach Riley picking up a guy 94 feet and not letting him get a breath of fresh air. That is the brand of Fordham basketball that after these next 5 games, that our weaker competition is going to carry on to a stacked A10 come conference play. New Year's Eve, baby.
And the Rams spreading the wealth early on. 8 of the 9 players who have entered this game so far for Fordham have scored a basket.
That's what you like to see.
Spreading
That's
the
what you
wealth.
like to see.
Ryan Pettis coming off the bench, draining that 3. Everybody getting involved early for the Rams. Game they need after losing 3 straight. Drexel, Penn State, and then San Francisco. It will be Fordham basketball underneath the basket in the front court. 11:21 to go. 22-7 Rams. Pettis flips into Josh Rivera up high. Rivera, the drive, gets inside. Rivera readjusts midair, couldn't get the shot to go off the backboard. Rebound by Badrew. Back the other way comes New Hampshire. McComb into the lane on Pettis. McComb doesn't get the roll. Off back iron. Josh Rivera the rebound. Trying to break back the other way. It's going to be an offensive foul called on Rivera.
Josh Rivera, again, the ball's not really in his possession at that point. Tipped away, so he's going to get possession. Grabs it mid-air, throws the ball away, and it's called a charge there. That's just something you don't really see every day, especially when they're moving so fast, back and forth, 94 feet. Not something I agree with.
It'll be New Hampshire basketball right in front of us in the front court. Anthony McComb III to inbound. Into Badrew up high. Push for there to Akpomo against Abdu Timbila. Sammy Pieces against Timbila at the Fordham logo. Crossover, the drive, pieces, the reverse lay. Timbila got a piece of that one. Ramadeen the rebound. Fordham back the other way. Strong defense from Abdu Timbila. Pettis to the baseline for Rivera. He drives, took the contact, and finishes strong. And one.
Josh Rivera spinning through the baseline into his defender, taking the contact. Now is the time for Josh Rivera to step up at the stripe. Fordham firing on all cylinders. Keep the momentum going. To put it in UNH terms, you know they like it cold up there. Keep the snowball rolling down the mountain and hit this free throw to finish the three-point play.
Josh Rivera being aggressive out there today on offense. From the free throw line this season, though, that's been the problem. 8 of 25 on the season so far. Rivera completes the three-point play. Beautiful stroke from Josh Rivera. It's 25-7 Fordham, and they continue the backcourt pressure. All the way to the front court, down low. Shot no good. Pettis couldn't get the rebound. McComb with it in the corner. Kicks back out up high. Badrew, and now straight away here it's Hamlin working against Johnson. Out to the far side wing, McComb against Pettis and Johnson. Open for three, off front iron and out. Hamlin couldn't connect. Josh Rivera the rebound. Dean the other way for Johnson. Johnson will try another long three. Too short. Pieces the rebound. The other way for New Hampshire. Pieces down low. Badrew circles around the hoop. The righty hook shot off back iron. Pettis the rebound. Got pushed down to the ground. No call. Fordham able to come out of the scrum with the ball. Johnson up high for the Rams. 9:51 to go in the first half. 25-7 Fordham. Pushed out to the near side wing for Josh Rivera. Screen up high from Timbila. Rivera swung all the way out to the far side for Johnson. Took a bump up high. It's going to be a carry on Jackie Johnson.
Carry there. Jackie, again, it's a lack of possession that kind of makes me hesitant on some of these foul and carry calls that are getting called on Fordham. You hate to see someone just trying to gather possession. You don't really see foul calls there because the refs are going to prioritize getting the ball rather than what's going on. You don't really see a lot of off-ball contact fouls called. But again, the ref's not letting that slide today. Fordham's got to adjust.
That's 7 turnovers now for the Rams, 7 also for UNH. On the far side wing, that's McComb. He'll launch the three and bury it. Anthony McComb III cans the triple. It's 25-10. New Hampshire back within 15. 9:23 to go in this first half as Jackie Johnson crosses the timeline for Fordham. Ryan Pettis seeing some extended minutes here in this first half. Finds Rivera. Rivera to the lane. Kicked out again for Johnson on the perimeter. He'll launch the three and bury it again. Jackie Johnson on fire from deep. 28-10 Rams.
Gutsy, the up fake, jab, dribble, sidestep, and hitting the three while your defender's still on you. Jackie Johnson is a certified bucket getter.
Under 9 to go in this first half. Able to break the press, New Hampshire. McComb, the pass down low. The layup would not go from the freshman, John O'Neill. Fordham back the other way. Johnson ahead for Pettis in the front court. Down low, tried to no-look pass to Timbila. That's stolen away. Back the other way comes New Hampshire. Down low, wide open is O'Neill, and he'll finish. Just beat Timbila down the floor that time.
Defensive adjustments have to be there. Ryan Pettis, again, using his minutes to his advantage, but getting a little too greedy with that no-look. You have to play smart basketball, especially if you're on limited minutes in a game you're going to get more in. You have to make your minutes known.
28-12 Fordham, 8:15 to go in the first half. Pettis, the pass on the perimeter for Rivera. He'll launch the straightaway three. Off front iron. Pettis went for the putback slam and couldn't quite gather it. Back the other way come New Hampshire through McComb. McComb fields Badrew. McComb again. He'll launch the three. Too strong. Rebound O'Neill. Straight away here for Hamlin. Another chance for New Hampshire. Against Timbila, Hamlin down low for O'Neill. Blocked away by Dean, but that already hit the backboard. That's going to be a goaltend on Ramadeen.
Yeah, tough one there. Rams, again, looking a little shaky, out of sync, Ergo talks a lot about connectivity. Connectivity maybe not the highlight of that last little portion, but some subs coming in. You see Jaffe Mador, Jameer Tripp at the scorer's table looking to get some of that connectivity back.
So with 7:49 to go in the first half, it's Fordham 28, New Hampshire 14. You're listening to Fordham men's basketball on WFUV Sports.
I'm Chaz McAdams.
And I'm Ben Oppenheimer.
And we are two of your hosts for On the Hill, the flagship podcast of Fordham Athletics.
We'll be talking about everything from football at Moglia Stadium
to hoops at the historic Rose Hill Gym.
Discussing the ins and outs of all Ram athletes, teams, and big games.
If you want to be part of the Ramily, then listen to On the Hill from WFUV Sports.
Back here inside the Rose Hill Gym, Nick Guzman alongside Chaz McAdams for him with a 28-14 lead over New Hampshire with 7:49 to go in the first half. And we're going to throw it over to the third member of our crew one more time. Gabby Price, what do you have for us, Gabby?
Thanks, guys. Well, if you are a Ram fan, one of the key components you wanted to see from this team today is being efficient on the offensive end of the court. The past couple games, Fordham's have been able to get a lot of shots, but a lot of those looks have not translated into points. Against Drexel, they barely shot over 50%, and last game against San Francisco, they had 37.7 from the field goal, but taking 61 shots, but only making 23. So far this afternoon, the Rams have been excellent with their shooting over 60% so far. 7 different players have made an impact at the basket. Of course, Jackie Johnson III and Abdou Tambila, but also names that we don't always get the chance to say, like Matt Zona and Ryan Pettis. As we keep going in this first half, I think we can expect Coach Ergo and the squad to continue to create solid shooting opportunities for themselves.
Thanks, Gabby. And it's been a balanced scoring attack, as you mentioned, for these Fordham Rams so far. Jackie Johnson leading the way with 6 points, but right behind him is Josh Rivera with 5, and then a smattering of others with 3 and with 2. So for Fordham, it's been super balanced offensively, but that last stretch, not the cleanest basketball they've played so far in this game.
No, not in that last minute, but again, it's not time to cause the panic button. You get a guy like Jaden Smith in this game. Again, you're still using your young players to your advantage. The cushion you have, the position you have this UNH team in, but you still have Jameer Tripp, Jackie Johnson, Jaffe Medor, Romad Dean for your starters. Guys that you know can get the job done when it comes to Fordham basketball.
Fordham inbounds here coming out of the media timeout. 7:45 to go in this first half. It's 28-14 Rams. Romad Dean on the near side wing for Jaden Smith in the game for the first time. From mid-range, Smith will pop it. That's short. Rebound loose down low. Cleared out by McComb. And he can go back the other way for the Wildcats. McComb against Tripp. The crossover. Up high again. Thesis will launch the 3 over Smith. Shot no good. Rebound tipped down low. Out of bounds. Last touch off UNH. Fordham basketball.
Yeah, UNH with the height advantage in this lineup right now. They have a lot of team length so far, but you love to see guys like Jane Smith calling out defensive schemes, getting caught out in the perimeter, but not looking scared to be on an island.
Medor the other way for Fordham. Jameer Tripp in the front court. Bounce pass for Ramad Dean on the near side wing. Dean towards the baseline, forced to pick up his dribble. Kicks back out up high for Smith. Push to the far side. Johnson will launch another 3, no good. Hosier with the rebound. The other way comes Pieces for New Hampshire. Pieces stolen away by Johnson. Back the other way. Johnson all the way. Couldn't get the roll on the layup. He missed the open layup. Ramad Dean cleans it up, and Fordham get the 2 anyway.
Romad Dean, the janitor, cleaning the glass out there for the Fordham Rams. What a great utility guy to have on your basketball team.
30-14 Rams. Pieces working against Medor on this near side. Pieces, the bounce pass, the cut from McComb. Couldn't get the finish on the lay. Foul's going to be called on Jaden Smith, I believe. And free throws coming here for McComb.
I mean, Smith didn't even jump, did he? He just hands
like
straight
he
up in the air
went
like
straight
a redwood tree. I mean, that's textbook basketball there. I don't really know. I think what the ref maybe saw is it wasn't chest to chest. Jaden got his side in there a little bit. That's what you can see there, but still, you know what I mean? It's a little ticky-tack.
6:30 to go here in the first half. It's Fordham 30 rather, UNH 14. Make it 15 as McComb connects on his first free throw attempt, the first free throws of the day for New Hampshire. Fordham themselves have only had 1 on that Josh Rivera and 1 opportunity.
And as these ticky-tack fouls start to stack up, we're going to see a lot of teams using the double bonus when it comes to it to their advantage.
McComb goes 2 for 2 from the line. It's 30-16 Fordham. 6:30 to go in the first half. Jaffe Medor across the timeline for the Rams. On this near side wing, it's Jameer Tripp to the corner for Ramad Dean. Shoved back up high for Johnson and moved further to Jaffe Medor. Medor circling on the perimeter. Straight away, this is Tripp now. Tripp gets inside with the left hand, drew the foul. And Jamir Tripp will go to the free throw line.
And I think the aggressive perimeter defense out of Nathan Davis' team can't be lost on anyone. They're going deny ball, a lot of hand checking on these Fordham wing players. They're not letting one pass away get opportunities. So whether you have a guy in the wing, that means top of the key and corner are going to be face guarded. If you're at the top of the key, that's both wings being face guarded. They want Fordham to make the skip passes, make the long passes, the interceptable passes to try to throw them off their game.
First free throw is good from Jamir Tripp. It's a UNH team that last season were in the semifinals of the America East Tournament, but this year it's 11 new guys, just 3 returnees, and they've struggled as a result in the second year of the Nathan Davis era.
Yeah, American East, again, a low major that can always be tricky. Sometimes they can have a scrappy team come out of the tournament, but there's a lot of cannibalism in that conference. A lot of teams that beat each other up and end up with below 500 averages that make teams kind of brush them off their shoulder come March.
31-16 Rams as Tripp connects on the second free throw as well, make it 32-16 with 6:10 to go in the first half. Fordham relentless here with their backcourt pressure. Pieces against Medor, and now the Rams will back off. Pieces across the timeline, took the bump from Medor and keeps going. On that far side wing, Dylan Saunders, now straight away for Hamlin. Hamlin, Saunders just on the floor, and he went up in the air. That's going to be a travel on Dylan Saunders. Left his feet there as he pump faked the three.
Jumping out of the air there. Again, you see Romad Dean closing down on you, a guy that big with that much defensive ability. I get scared a little bit myself and maybe jump in the air if I was on the court.
So Fordham basketball here through Jaffe Medor, 5:48 to go in this second half. The Rams lead, or this first half rather, the Rams lead by 16. Johnson, the screen up high from Smith. And that's going to be an offensive foul on Jaden Smith as he set the screen.
Illegal screen there. Again, that's a young man making a mistake, but you love to see Keith Urgo keeping him out there, not rushing on a sub. He trusts his guys to play the game the right way, even though Jaden Smith still in a bit of a learning curve.
In the backcourt here, Hamlin for UNH against Johnson. Able to cross the timeline and set up this Wildcat offense. Hamlin drives on Johnson towards the baseline, backing Jackie down. Hamlin, the pump, the move, couldn't quite get the roll. Jamir Tripp the rebound. Medor the other way, got bumped at the timeline. Jaden Smith tried to move it towards Johnson. Pass deflected into the UNH bench. Fordham will keep it.
I feel like a lot of these guys look at Jackie Johnson's height on the scouting report and think once I get in the post, it's going to be an easy bucket. I have yet to see a team try to expose Jackie Johnson's height in the post, guard to guard, to Fordham's detriment. He is a fantastic post defender just because of his size and his weight, the presence that he brings down low.
That was just a one-on-one situation between Hamlin and Johnson. And Johnson got the better of him, but Fordham turned the ball over on the inbound. Pieces the other way for UNH. Sloppy inbounds play there for the Rams. Driving here is Badrew. Tracking down Dean, comes to McComb on this near side wing. Against Medor, McComb on the baseline now. Again, a lot of ISO here from UNH. McComb threw up a wild shot, wouldn't go. The tap back wouldn't go either. Medor the rebound, Fordham back the other way. Medor drives to the lane, to the corner. Johnson, he'll launch the three and bury it again. Jackie Johnson on fire. It's 35-16 Fordham. 9 points now on 3 made threes from Jackie. Hamlin. Poked away by Johnson. That ball will go out of bounds on the baseline, but quick hands again on the perimeter.
And Jackie Johnson's fingerprints all over this game. You know what I mean? It's like a crime scene, the way he's able to just take the game and make it 1v9. You know what I mean? It's not even, he's just an entity unto himself on this basketball court. His on-court gravity, the way he's able to manipulate the defense and make his teammates better, just a fantastic ball player.
UNH basketball here with 4:28 to go in the first half. They inbound up high to Hamlin. Against Medor with Fordham on top 35-16. McComb on the far side. Watched closely by Jamir Tripp. Badrew for McComb. Drives the lane, kick out up high. Pieces thought about a three. Drives towards the baseline, forced to retreat. 2 seconds to shoot. The fadeaway jumper from Pieces won't go. Rebound Jackie Johnson. Another strong defensive possession for the Rams. Johnson against Pieces the other way. And up high, Jackie will pause just to the left of the Fordham logo. Johnson feeds down low for Zona, and he traveled in the lane.
A tough one there. Matt Zona not expecting it off the roll there. Get a little stutter step in his feet. Not the way you want to see that possession end for the Rams.
So with 3:51 to go in the first half, the score is Fordham 35, UNH 16. We'll send it back to our Rose Hill studios for the one-on-one scoreboard with Kurt Sipple.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
The live NFL Sunday action. Starting with the local NFL action, the Jets went into the half with a lead, 21-16. Aaron Rodgers threw 2 touchdowns in the first half of play. The Texans are looking to solidify their spot in the AFC playoffs standings with only a few weeks left to go, but the Jaguars won't go down easy. It's 6-3. Now onto the AFC contending Steelers looking to weld themselves into a top 3 seed to secure it, but the Bengals won't go down, only being down 3. They're up by 6 right now, 27-21. The 8th place Indianapolis Colts need a win to go up in the playoff standings, but the Patriots continue to stand in their way. It's 16-14 going into the half. Back into the NFC-AFC matchup of the day, the Falcons and the Chargers are in a tight matchup, continuing on, but it is continuing to be a tight matchup, 6-3. Now on to the Commanders beating the Titans. The Commanders are leading with a score of 28-7, and last but not least, the Sam Darnold-led Vikings are leading the Cardinals 9-6. With your one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Kurt Sipple.
Welcome back inside the Rose Hill Gym. Nick Guzman here alongside Chaz McAdams on this Sunday afternoon. Fordham 35, New Hampshire 16 with 3:51 to go in the first half. Chaz, Fordham needed a bounce back in this game after what happened in Florida, and they're getting it so far.
Florida, a stronger caliber of opponent than what Fordham's used to seeing in their non-conference. Penn State, one of the top offenses in the country. And San Francisco, in my opinion, is the second best team in the ever exciting WCC conference. Again, UNH just not that same caliber of opponent. No one they see in the rest of their non-conference is that level of opponent. Fordham winning out in their non-conference is absolutely in the cards. It's just a matter of them coming together as a team, showing that connectivity, and playing Fordham basketball their way.
UNH basketball after the media timeout. Here they come through Hamlin at the script M of the Fordham logo. Hamlin will step back from 3 over Zona, in and out. Josh Rivera the rebound. Back the other way comes Jaffe Medor. Medor, crossover, gets to the lane. Rivera open on the outside, thought about a 3, gives it back to Medor in the mid-range. Medor, up high Johnson. Pump fake the long triple, instead of pull from mid-range, that's short. Rebound cleared out by Hamlin. Hamlin the other way for Pieces. On this near side, backing down Riley in the lane. Pieces up high, that's a 3, nowhere near, an air ball. Zona with the rebound. That's Pozaire who airballed it. Medor the other way for Fordham. The spin on the baseline. Medor with the left hand got bumped. That's going to be a foul. And 2 shots coming from Medor.
When you use positioning to your advantage, you know you have your man beat. You go over, up, and under him, and you know you're getting to the line. Jaffe Medor, again, the grad transfer that just knows what he's doing out there on the basketball court.
2 shots coming from Medor. Fordham have held UNH scoreless in the last 3:28, just 1 for 9, their last 9 field goals. First free throw's good from Medor. 36-16 Rams, 3:02 to go in this first half.
Fordham's defense absolutely stifling out there, and you love to see play like that from the Rams. High energy, high effort, especially after an unfortunate trip to Daytona Beach.
UNH shooting just 23% from the field so far. Medor, second free throw good as well, 37-16 Rams. 3:02 to go in the first half. Pozaire looking to inbound, more pressure from Fordham. Ryan Pettis applying that ball pressure on Pieces. Pettis retreats, Pieces crosses the timeline. Up high, this is Hamlin against Zach Riley. Pozaire for McComb on the far side wing. Against Medor, McComb makes his move to the lane, got Zona up in the air, couldn't finish around him. Let's see what the call is here. The putback was in from John O'Neill, but it's going to be a foul, a push on O'Neill as he got the ball. for that putback opportunity, Fordham basketball.
Yeah, again, positioning there tough to get on a stifling Fordham defense. Even when you don't have the size, sometimes the effort from the Rams just makes it too hard and you get a frustration call like that.
So still 37-16 Fordham with 2:40 to go in the first half. Pettis to Medore on the near side wing. Medore drives down low, got up in the air. Pettis crashed in. Medore thought he was going to stay in the corner, and the pass goes into the New Hampshire bench.
Yeah, pass looked like it might have been tipped there off of Poser, but still, again, for Jaffe expecting someone to just be there in the corner, usually a Jackie Johnson type in there to knock down a corner three for him. Not there on that time.
Thesis will inbound in the backcourt, gets it into Hamlin. UNH still looking for their first win over a D1 opponent this year, coming into this game at 2-8. Hamlin all the way into the front court. Poser up high for the Wildcats. Pass deflected by Riley. Comes out to the far side for Pieces. Up high again for Poser. Again trying to circle on Riley. Pushed all the way out to the far side wing. Hamlin. O'Neal the handoff up high. McComb from mid-range buries the jumper. New Hampshire finally able to end that drought. It's 37-18. Under 2 to go in the first half. Medore in no hurry here for the Rams. Pushed out to the far side wing for Josh Rivera. The crossover on Pieces. Rivera all the way. Couldn't get the shot to go, but tipped in by Matt Zona. Way to follow the play there from Matt Zona.
Call that ACC finesse.
Hamlin all the way. Kick out to the far side corner for Pieces. Against Riley. He'll try it. That's short. Medore the rebound. 1:27 to go in the first half. 39-18 Fordham. Medore, Zona, how about a three? Wide to the right, off the backboard, didn't hit the rim. Open look from Zona, couldn't knock it down. Poser the other way for McComb for New Hampshire. McComb driving on Medore, got him in the air, couldn't get the shot to go. Whistle and a foul. Not sure if it was on the shot. It is going to be on the shot against Jaffe Medore. And 2 shots coming here for McComb.
You know, that you see plays like that all the time. Referees, you get the ball fake going up. The defender gets caught up in the air, doesn't want to chase the block. Even though your arm's up in the air, you're still getting in the defender's space. It's not exactly, you know what they call in the NBA, colloquially the Trae Young rule. It's not someone going up into the defender's space, but it's the defender just not being absolutely vertical in his cylinder to get that no call.
First free throw good from McComb. For Fordham's 6 personal fouls as a team. Only player with more than 1 is Jaden Smith, who has 2. Second shot from McComb is good as well, so it's 39-20 Fordham. 1:07 to go in the first half. Medore will carry the ball ahead for the Rams. Medore, Riley, Zona, Rivera, and Pettis, the 5 out there in this final minute. Medore spins up high to the baseline, looking for an option still. Backing down, Medore leans in. The shot wouldn't go. He'll come back for Jaffe. Riley now on the outside. His triple off front rim and out. McComb secures the rebound. Goes behind the back in transition. Working against Riley with 40 seconds to go in this first half. McComb spins in the lane. Step back. Got it. Beautiful move there from Anthony McComb III.
McComb III, the best bucket getter on this Fordham squad.
30 seconds to go in the first half. Timeout called by Keith Ergo. There's 29.1 on the game clock, 26 on the shot clock. It's 39-22 Fordham. They'll talk over how they want to handle this last possession.
Yeah, I think Keith Ergo's probably looking for a nice look at the rim here. You know what I mean? You don't have your shooters on the court. If you sub in Jackie Johnson, maybe it's a perimeter look for this Rams team, but definitely drawn something up nice, drawn something up that's going to get a quick bucket. You go into half up closer to 20 and just getting some momentum back on your side.
For the Rams, defensively, it seems like New Hampshire almost exclusively they're in ISO plays with an individual player trying to make something happen. And one-on-one defensively, that's where this Fordham team can excel.
Yeah, especially they have a lot of great one-on-one defenders, but I think they're greater than the sum of their parts in terms of the defensive scheme. You have a lot of great defenders. You have a lot of great defensive options, but you also have a lot of guys that are great team defenders, like Romad Dean, great team defender, able to know where he is on the court, where he's supposed to be, get his hands in the passing lanes. You love to see a guy like that on the court.
Triple inbound in the front court for Fordham. They get it into Jackie Johnson. It's Johnson, Medor, Tripp, Rivera, and Timbila, the 5 for the Rams, as Johnson holds the Fordham logo. Pressure from Badger, though. 19 to go, 16 to shoot. Johnson lost it momentarily, able to recover. Badger pressing up against him. Johnson on this near side wing with 10 seconds. 5 to shoot for the Rams. Rivera, 3 to shoot. Johnson will launch the 3 in and out. 3 on the game clock as Tripp grabs the rebound. Couldn't get it to go. Another tip by Timbila wouldn't go either. And that will do it for the first half here at the Rose Hill Gym. It's Fordham 39, UNH 22. Not a perfect first half from the Rams, but all things considered, I think you have to be happy if you're Keith Urgo.
Yeah, you see a lot of those last-second timeout plays from Keith Urgo not panning out with Jackie Johnson III as the ball handler, just taking too much. When there's too much time on the clock, it seems like Jackie sometimes has a tendency to overthink and over-dribble, and then the play kind of breaks down. But overall, you got to be happy with that half as a whole. Great defense, great play overall from the Rams. Looking to have even more success in the second half, which you can. There are still places to improve for this Fordham team, but you have to be happy with that, especially coming after 3 tough losses in away gyms.
So at the half, it's Fordham 39, New Hampshire 22. We'll send it back to our Rose Hill studios for the one-on-one halftime report with George Fugatakis.
The one-on-one halftime report.
Welcome to the Rose Hill Studios. I'm George Fugatakis, joined by Kurt Sipple, with the Rams in a chokehold of this 3rd annual Tom Konchowski Classic with a score of 39-22. Kurt, what are your opinions on this game so far?
You know, this is exactly what Fordham needed after 2 fairly poor losses in the Sunshine Slam in Florida. The fact is that Keith Urgo and Fordham is playing how they want to. Running fast, getting rebounds, and getting extra looks. And that is what we're seeing today. Even having Jackie Johnson 3 for 5 from 3 right now. Actually, probably we went up because of his 3 at the end of the half. But it doesn't matter because he's hitting them. They're taking them right now. And they're leading a New Hampshire team that is not wonderful, but still great for Fordham.
Yeah, most definitely. Jackie Johnson leading the Rams with 9 points on 3 of 8 shooting, 3 for 6 from 3. And overall as a team, average field goal percentage of 45.2, but out shooting the New Hampshire Wildcats. They're shooting 8 of 30 from the field. Rams shooting 14 for 31. Just efficiency that's benefiting the Rams at this point in the game.
But that's exactly what Keith Urgo always talks about, is that we'll play a lot of defense and we might not take a lot of shots, but this game they're taking a lot of shots and they'll start hitting them eventually. In this game, they're hitting them a lot. And that's why Fordham is up by so much, is because they're hitting their shots that they need to hit and making their way down the court fast and getting the fast breaks that they want. One thing that Fordham has to shape up on, and me and you were talking about it before the half, is turnovers. You can't have 12 turnovers and expect the game to look pretty. I mean, it's not a pretty win right now, but having 12 turnovers is ridiculous.
Yeah, they have to work on their possession. But on the glass, Fordham has been shining. 25 rebounds, out-rebounding New Hampshire by 11. And that leads to transition buckets. Majority of the rebounds coming on the defensive end, which can lead to fast play and fast-paced transition basketball, which is what benefits the Rams.
Definitely. And shout out to Jaffe Medor. He has 4 rebounds in this game. And Matt Zona. We haven't gotten to say his name a lot in this season, of Matt Zona, talking about him. And he's getting some run. The ACC, as what Chaz was saying, from Notre Dame. Matt Zona, 5 rebounds right now and 4 points. His effect is being felt on the court.
100%. Matt Zona is playing great basketball, and he is his effect comes from the intangibles. He's aggressive on the defensive end. He's rebounding the ball great, kicking it out to the guards, and leading again that transition offense that Fordham plays. But also to mention the defense, Rams have 6 steals to New Hampshire's 4, and that is also leading to the fast break buckets and points off turnovers.
Definitely. And I think that that's just something that Fordham is just working on. Like, we heard from the Sunshine Slam what Fordham was. You played against a really good Penn State team, and you played against a not as good San Francisco team that Fordham was playing against. And you have to learn from those losses. And George, do you think that Fordham right now has learned from those losses in the Sunshine Slam in this game?
I believe they have. They're playing the game of basketball that they want to play, and they're not letting the other teams dictate what's going on. They're playing the game that that benefits them the most, and they're not letting, even though the competition isn't the same, they're not letting those games and those prior games affect their mental, and they just keep going throughout the way they want to. They want to play basketball.
And another thing is having a lead in a game is also very important. And last time Fordham with a lead, it didn't happen, and they weren't getting out to a fast start. We talked about in these other games that Fordham wasn't getting off to such fast starts, and in this game they got out to a fast start, and they have not let the Wildcats get out to a lead ever in this entire game. They've led for all 20 minutes, which is great for Fordham, because we've talked about this, we've harped on this point that you have to come out with such a strong beginning to want to win games, and today you win a game. Not yet, but you can win a game by coming out strong and hitting your shots and playing strong defense.
I believe that this Fordham team benefits a lot from momentum. When they're down, they don't really have the fire to come back, and when they come out of the gate swinging, it leads to their momentum that they can keep throughout the half.
Definitely, and I think one other thing to shout out a little bit more is the bench points. 12 bench points right now for Fordham. And you would like to see that get up a little bit more right now from 12 to 9. But also with a blowout, not yet, but a blowout may be imminent for Fordham, is that you get to see a lot more of these guys run that we don't get to see as much. I mean, you get to see Jaden Smith, who's on the court for a little bit. And that's someone that I've been talking about for a while, that's saying, get Jaden Smith on the court, because you want to see how he starts out and how he's going to start finishing and getting better on defense. And this is a perfect game for someone like Jaden Smith to come out and run it, because he doesn't have really a short leash.
Give him reps.
Exactly.
And another thing to shout out is the Fordham team basketball. Like Kurt was saying before, with everyone getting minutes, 8 out of our 10 players that we've put in have scored, allowing for more team basketball. Also, the three-point shooting has been fantastic. 6 for 13 from the field, when New Hampshire shooting 2 of 12, and that's another way that this team can get out to a longer and more aggressive lead and hold on. But what can Fordham work on in the second half to lock it down?
I mean, yeah, I'll chime in here, guys, as someone that has been covering the team and calling some of the games. Is I think the turnovers that you talked about, the 12 turnovers, some of the sloppy play, I 100% agree that this is a, right now, momentum-based team. They play well when they're really playing well, especially on the offensive end. And at some point in this season, they're going to have to turn that around a little bit and be strong defensively and turn that into offense. But we saw the start that they jumped out to. Problem is they let New Hampshire creep back into this game, and that has been one of the overwhelming issues that's poked its head up time and time again with this team, is not being able to play complete 40 minutes. And listen, you're not going to outscore teams at a 12-2 clip for the entirety of a basketball game, but I think for Coach Urgo's liking and this still defensive-minded team, they got a little too soft on the defensive end in the second half of that first half, those last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I agree completely. We were talking about this off air about the Manhattan College game, where Manhattan College came out swinging and they held on to that lead throughout the game. Fordham came out swinging today, and hopefully they can hold on. They can do the same and hold on.
And that's right. So, we kind of talked about back here as well that, yes, New Hampshire comes in at 2-8, and their only 2 wins are against Division III programs. Right now, if you're Fordham, especially at this stage of non-conference play, you're not looking at the opponent. And that's actually something that Coach Urgo has talked about even when we were trying to really prop up some of the Penn State to San Francisco games about, oh, Coach, how do you prepare for a team like that? And he was very honest about, listen, there's a lot that we have to focus on just on our team perspective. There's a lot that we still have to figure out, that we can't spend too much time thinking about our opponent, who we're playing today or this week, what's coming up. We need to fix the stuff on our side of the court so that we can get ourselves ready to compete in an A-10 that, you want to talk about Thanksgiving tournaments. Dayton just beat UConn. They almost beat UNC. You're talking about a pretty elite conference right now. The A-10's turned into a bit of a juggernaut. And when you watch Fordham play, there's still a lot missing from what you need to see in order to feel confident that they can compete against the best team. So, listen, you throw New Hampshire's record, you throw it out the window. It doesn't really matter. It's what does Fordham need to do that's going to translate to good basketball, not just today, but down the stretch of the season.
And to your point, Lou, I think that's the one thing that Keith Ergo said that we've heard before is playing clean basketball. And we haven't seen much clean basketball from these Fordham Rams just, I think, almost this whole season. I mean, you've broadcasted a lot of these games and you've seen what is going on. I don't know about the clean basketball that we've really seen all season. And another thing I wanted to just harp on a little bit that got me a little excited is points in the paint for the Fordham Rams was 16-8 today against New Hampshire. In games of the Sunshine Slam where Fordham got dominated in the paint by big men, you see the big men that we've been talking about and getting excited about for all year finally coming out to play a little bit. And that's just another development piece that you can see Keith Ergo might be running a little bit better than last time.
You're right. Fordham's talent, it's the guards. That's where they're going to make their money. But they need their bigs to be key paces if they're really going to compete against good teams. So you need to see better work out of Timbila and Zona. And I like what you're saying about I'd like to see more Jaden Smith. I'd like to find out what you have in him now in the non-conference slate so you know how to use him going into A10s. I'd like to see a little bit more about Ryan Pettis. He's a guard, but he's a confident guard that I think can earn minutes off the bench for what I think is a middle-of-the-pack, can-compete A10 team.
Going back to what you're saying about the big men, Abdul Sambila has been playing relatively well this half. He has been playing with a lot of the intangibles. Only 8 minutes, only 4 points, but he has 2 rebounds. He's been playing aggressive defense. He has a block, stuff that doesn't really show up the way it should on the boxes, but he has been a force, and they are scared to shoot over him because of his defensive presence.
And the one thing that we have to just think a lot about is that New Hampshire does not profit off these turnovers that Fordham is giving them free basketball. The 7 points to Fordham's 15. But yeah, the points off turnovers, the Fordham that New Hampshire might be profiting off of, I think is just something that Fordham really has to hope and play some more clean basketball with.
Yeah, and that will just about do it for the one-on-one halftime report. We send it back to the Rose Hill Gym where Nick Guzman and Chaz McAdams we'll have you for the rest of the way.
Hey guys, it's Jamir Tripp from Fordham Men's Basketball. You can catch all of our games on 90.7 FM and the WFUV Sports YouTube page. And make sure to fill the hill this season as we celebrate 100 years in the Rose Hill Gym. WFUV is the home of Fordham basketball. Go Rams.
Welcome back inside the Rose Hill Gym. We are at the half, about 3 minutes to go until the start of the second half between Fordham and New Hampshire. Rams with a 39-22 lead over the Wildcats. Really solid first half of Fordham. Obviously things you need to fix up when you think about the 12 turnovers. The shooting percentage has come down a lot from what it was early, but you're not going to sustain 60% throughout a whole game. But overall, the effort's been there from the Rams.
Absolutely. I think Kurt Sippel put it best. I think that's the only thing holding this Fordham Rams team back is that high turnover rate. I mean, 12 at the half, especially versus a team like UNH. But the game it's a high-speed game. UNH has 9 for themselves. They're on pace for 18 turnovers. That's not great either. So if Fordham can maintain control of themselves, they can tighten it up a little bit on the offensive end. There's no reason why they can't run up the score here. Maybe see some walk-on minutes.
Maybe see some Jamison O'Toole minutes.
If I'm lucky.
Jackie Johnson is Fordham's leading scorer with 9 points. However, he's done that on just 3 of 8 shooting. Started out hot and then kind of cooled off as the half progressed. But also for Fordham, Josh Rivera with 5 points, Ramadine with 5, Jamir Tripp also with 5, Zona with 4, Timbila with 4, as does Medor.
And you love to see Fordham winning the rebound battle as well as the score. Only taking 1 more shot than the New Hampshire Wildcats, but with 11 more rebounds. With a Wildcat team with some formidable size. This Wildcat team, this is Georgia Court. We're not playing 6'5" centers here, Nick Guzman. This UNH team has some decent size to them. So the fact that Fordham is dominating the rebounding battle this early shows why you get a guy like Jamir Tripp out there, a tall point guard out there. It really opens up the floor down low for you to box out as hard as you can and get some big boards.
Fordham have done all this without Will Richardson missing today's game due to personal reasons. But for the Rams, you mentioned that size from New Hampshire. I mean, John O'Neill was getting this in that first half, the freshman big. He's at 6'9". Akomo, who started the game, the graduate student from Nigeria, also 6'9". So there is some size for UNH out there, but Fordham have done well to deal with that.
Fordham doing well to deal with that because of their 6 steals on the night. That's what you like to see. That's 66% of the turnovers on the part of UNH have been because of Fordham's stifling defense, and half of those are from Jameer Tripp himself. You love to see a guy like that playing hard defense, being the guy that Ergo can rely on to play 30-plus minutes a game and not have to worry about, because you know the scoring's going to be there, and scoring that you need out of Jameer Tripp. But you really need him on the defensive and rebounding end to step up, which I think he has so far today.
So it's 39-22 Fordham at the halftime break. We're just about ready to get started here in the second half. Fordham as a team shooting 45%, 46% from deep. 5 of 5 from the free throw line, Chaz. Both these teams' shooting splits were pretty similar coming into this game, based whether it's your three-point percentage just from the field in general and from free throws, all within 1 or 2 percentage points of each other. But Fordham have had a much tougher schedule up to this point. Although New Hampshire didn't have to go and play UConn on the road, which is a hard task for any team.
Hey, UConn lost 3 times this week.
And including to Dayton from the Atlantic 10.
Does the A10 own the Big East? Is that the narrative we're starting to spin?
I think if we say that enough, we can start that narrative.
I love
That's how that works.
I love spewing garbage on air,
especially
with you.
Give me Fordham and Dayton over Seton Hall and UConn any day of the week.
Any day of the week.
UNH will get us started coming out of the halftime break. We're underway here straight away. Anthony McComb against Medore. McComb driving baseline. Backing down on Jaffe. McComb got him in the air. The leaner, no good. Rebound tipped by Timbila to Dean. And Fordham can gather for their first offensive possession of the second half. Medore commanding the offense up high. Swung out to the far side wing for Jackie Johnson. Watched closely by Pozaire. And Pozaire's going to get called for the foul. A little too handsy there on Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie just moving quickly up and down the field. And, you know, Jackie Johnson, he loves to dribble the ball, but he likes, unless we're talking about those last-second possessions that we were like when he's just kind of side to side, dribbling to drain the clock, he dribbles with such purpose, such downhill energy.
Tripp inbounds all the way to the far side for Johnson, backing down the lane. Johnson, the hook shot's good. Strong move from Jackie Johnson over Hamlin. And he gets the finish with the left hand.
You love to see the beautiful touch from JJ3.
Hamlin crosses the timeline here for New Hampshire. It's 11 points now for Jackie Johnson to lead the way for Fordham. Up high, Badrew, swung out to the far side wing for McComb. Badrew again against Johnson, driving in, used that forearm for separation, shot off the heel. The foul called, though. It's going to be against Fordham. And 2 shots coming for Khalil Badrew.
On Abdu, going for the block rather than contest. When you have a guard, I know Badrew's a little bigger, but when you have a guard that you have so much weight on, even rather than size, you don't have to go for the block there. Just put a hand in his face. Stifle Tower, the kid out of Cameroon. Abdu knows how to be a great defender. A10 preseason all defense. He knows what he needs to do on the block. Getting a little selfish there, chasing the block. That's not what the team needs right now.
2 shots coming for Badrew. Abdu really struggled in that Penn State game. 5 fouls in just 10 minutes, 3 turnovers too. A little bit better against San Francisco, but it's been an up and down season for Abdu as the first free throw no good from Badrew. Fordham, that big rotation still really up for grabs between Timbila, Zona, and Jaden Smith. Second shot goes. It's 41-23 Fordham, a minute gone by here in the second half. Medore into the front court for the Rams against Hamlin. Bounce pass out to the far side wing for Jackie Johnson, who feeds the post for Timbila. Back out up high for Johnson. In front of the Fordham bench, got stripped, out of bounds. Fordham will keep it.
And Jackie Johnson and Abdu Timbila playing a little Jackie Moon from semi-pro. I don't want it, it's too hot. Hot potato call. Out of the post. You know what I mean? And I think Jackie Johnson, again, doing a great job of just slowing things down with a fast-paced Fordham team in the half court.
Dean inbounds to Tripp up high. Now Johnson still straight away for Tripp. Screen up high from Timbila, 8 to shoot for the Rams. Tripp to Johnson, 5 on the shot clock, still on the outside. Johnson drives, the lefty shot blocked away. Out of bounds on the baseline as the shot clock expires. It will be UNH basketball.
Tough one there for Jackie Johnson, able to split the defense, but not able to get a clean shot off. Not something you normally can say about JJ3.
It's 41-23 Fordham, 18:33 to go in the second half. McComb inbounds here to Hamlin. Johnson watching him as Hamlin crosses the timeline. To the far side corner, McComb backing down on Medor. Hands off again for Hamlin. Straight away, this is Badrew against Tripp. Drives with the right hand. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound, Ramadine. More strong defense down low for the Rams. Medor the other way. Handoff on the near side for Tripp. Backing down on Hamlin. Straight away, Abdu pushed further to Ramadine. Dean to Johnson in front of the Fordham bench, who feeds the post for Timbila. Timbila backing down. The hook shot's good. Beautiful move from Abdu Timbila.
Old school there from Abdu Timbila, making all 100 years of Rose Hill basketball felt with that baby hook.
6 points for Abdu on a perfect 3 of 3 shooting. Efficient night so far for the big man from Cameroon. Poser driving on Medor, kicks out up high again for Badger, who'll circle back to the Fordham logo. Pushed out to the far side. Poser against Medor. Still on the perimeter. Akpomo against Timbila. The screen, the handoff from the free throw line. McComb can't get the roll, but it's tipped back up and in by Akpomo. 43-25 Fordham. 17:15 to go in the second half. Tripp for Johnson in front of the Fordham bench. Timbila comes up to set the screen. Johnson finds Dean. He's open for 3. Off front iron and out. McComb secures the rebound. Back the other way for New Hampshire, trying to pick up the pace. McComb, the crossover on Abdu, blocked away by Timbila. Johnson the other way in transition. Jackie all the way with the left hand gets the roll. Beautiful sequence for Fordham. The block on one end from Timbila, and Johnson the lay in transition.
Size does not matter when it comes to JJ3. Look at the way that Jackie Johnson is able to get one over on the bigger Akpomo.
Fordham by 20. In the post, it's Badrew against Tripp. Kicks out up high for McComb. At the free throw line, Badrew flipped up high again for McComb. Driving on Johnson, gets to the baseline, spins with the right hand, takes the contact, and the strong finish. Good move there from Anthony McComb, and he'll have a chance for one more.
Beautiful footwork there from McComb. You know that he's great at that, able to get down low on a smaller guard, plant his pivot foot down, and make you make mistakes in the post. Every little bite on a pump fake, McComb sees as an opportunity to get to the charity stripe.
15 points for McComb so far, shooting just 5 of 15 from the field, though. But he's been the main shot taker for these New Hampshire Wildcats.
Absolutely. Even with a guy like Sammy Passis in, you just love to see Anthony McComb III playing his brand of basketball. Downhill, high octane, high energy, high efficiency.
McComb completes the three-point play. It's 45-28 Fordham, 16-14 to go in the second half. Tripp has it a step inside the timeline, working against Poser. On the far side, Tripp, the crossover, gets to the lane on Poser, lost his balance, he slipped, able to keep the possession alive for Rivera. On this near side wing, 5 seconds to shoot. Out to the far side for Medor. He drives, gets inside, and gets the finish with the right hand.
Jaffe Medor cutting through the defense like a hot knife through butter there, and able to finish off the glass with the inside hand.
Shifty move from Jaffe Medor, 47-28 Rams. Poser on the far side wing, gets inside on Dean. Backdoor for McComb underneath. Poser now on this near side will pop the 3 and connect. Good shot there from Davide Poser, 47-31. Rivera, the other way for the Rams, backing down in the post. McComb went for the steal, and who's going to get called for the foul. Aggressive defense there from McComb, a little too aggressive. He's booked for his second foul.
Tough one there, Adam McComb. Again, you love to see guys like Josh Rivera just spinning in the post, playing aggressively, backing guys down.
At the under 16 media timeout with 15:23 to go in the second half, it's Fordham 47, New Hampshire 31. You're listening to Fordham men's basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hi, this is Mike Breen, WFUV class of 1983. WFUV is the flagship station of Fordham Athletics with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to Saturday one-on-one. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV Sports.
Back here inside the Rose Hill Gym, Nick Guzman alongside Chaz McAdams. 47-31, Fordham with the lead over UNH. 15:23 to go in the second half, and we'll send it over to the third member of our crew again, Gabby Price. Gabby, what do you got?
Thanks, guys. Well, as Coach Ergo mentioned after the games in Florida, playing solid defense is one of the team's main priorities during the game today. Throughout the first half and now into the second, the Florida bench has kept chanting defense, 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 showing how much this Ram team is working to support each other defensively both on and off the court. This includes being active under the net, grabbing both defensive and offensive rebounds, looking for those second chances. But even though their defense has been effective so far as they have held New Hampshire to 31 points, Coach Ergo wants the Rams to clean it up a little bit. As he told his bench, they need to be more careful about sending New Hampshire players to the line.
Thanks, Gabby. Fordham with the 47-31 lead over New Hampshire. 15:23 to go in the second half. They're holding UNH to shooting under 30% from the field, 11 for 37 on the afternoon. It's been a really positive effort for Fordham defensively so far. They've got this lead to show for it.
Absolutely. The way that this Fordham defense has played has been absolutely executed to perfection. They're not letting UNH come up for air at all. They're keeping them down. UNH has really been only able to score on isolation buckets. So if Fordham keeps switching the correct players on, keeps talking on defense, there's no reason that UNH should be able to take control of this game.
It's Fordham basketball in the front court after the media timeout. Tripp with a beautiful move. Too soft on the lay, able to get his own rebound. Tripp still working down low. He puts it up and in. Just raw effort from Jamir Tripp.
Oh my gosh, the effort there. That's what Keith Ergo wanted to see out of number 3.
49-31 Rams. McComb the other way into the corner for Saunders, and he lost it to Dean. Stolen away by the Rams. Medor the other way for Fordham. For Rivera on the far side wing. Straight away for Tripp. Feeds the post for Timbila. Timbila with the beautiful move. Got O'Neal in the air and gets the finish too.
Maintaining control. That's how you know no sloppy turnovers, no travels in ball in the air situations like that.
Fordham by 20 as they continue the defensive pressure. Poser the three off the heel and out. Josh Rivera the rebound. 14:30 to go in the second half. Fordham 51, New Hampshire 31. Medor drives, feeds down low to a cutting Dean. He lost it, stolen away by Pieces, and O'Neal can find McComb as New Hampshire breaks back the other way. McComb against Tripp on the far side wing. Up high here for Pieces. Waves away Poser. Pieces pushes straight away for McComb. Working against Tripp. McComb, the crossover, gets to the lane. Tripp still with him. McComb, the leaning move, couldn't get the roll. It's going to be a foul down low as Dean and O'Neal got tangled up. We'll see who they call it on. I believe it's going to be a foul on Fordham.
Yeah. It says basket stays here. And the official talking to Ergo early before he even calls to the scores table. Foul there on Romont Dean.
Referees conversing. Ergo not
for
happy.
A flagrant?
And they're looking over at the monitor. I didn't even really see what happened in the lane.
It's just under the basket. Shot goes up, tangled up for, and two bodies fall to the ground. Dean, the low man, so it looks like he's dragging that UNH player down. I didn't even see who it was that fell with Dean.
It was O'Neal, the freshman.
Yeah, so O'Neal, the freshman, the taller player even. So Dean going for the box out, getting wrapped up, linking up arm to arm there. Dean, the low man, so it looks like he's dragging him down. But I think they're looking over that for a flagrant.
They are. The referees are at the monitor
Saw
right
that
now.
little finger twirl.
No, I was following the shot, but it looked like play that you see pretty often on a rebound, just both guys jockeying for position.
Yeah, two physical players. You know O'Neal likes to get down and dirty, especially in a situation like this when he's the tallest player on the court. And Romad Dean is probably the best technical rebounder this Fordham team has seen in a very long time. Two guys that love to clean the glass. So when you see a tie-up like that, it's almost par for the course, Nick Guzman.
The referee's still at the monitor looking over this one. I feel like the longer it goes, maybe the worse it is for Romad Dean. 13:57 to go in the second half. Fordham with a 20-point lead over UNH. Dean this season averaging 6.8 points per game, 5.3 rebounds. Really just the physical attributes he brings on both ends of the floor, really key for Keith Ergo.
Call him a utility guy, and that almost seems like to his detriment. It's not. It shows that catch and shoot situations, glass cleaning, when you need great team defense, someone in a passing lane, someone to dive on a loose ball, all the little intricate things that the star player might not excel at doing, Romad Dean fills those gaps. He is an all-around fantastic basketball player for this Rams squad in the Bronx.
Now in his third year at Fordham, I think it's fair to say he's improved in each year he's been here, taking that next step forward, which doesn't always happen. You expect it to happen, but it doesn't for everybody.
Absolutely. Again, as someone that has seen this Fordham team through many years, there's a lot of players that come into the Bronx expecting to have that Keith Ergo magic dropped on him like Dean had. People forget, he didn't even go into last year as a starter. He earned that position through his hard work on the glass, improving his jump shot, making his offense more dynamic. We saw in the preseason versus UMBC and Holy Cross, a lot of offensive plays even drawn up for Romad Dean, which freshman year, Romad Dean, did you expect that at all?
No.
Exactly. So you see, when you're able to follow the narrative of a player, I think that's one of the main benefits and beauties of our job, Nick, is that we're able to follow a team so closely that we see the trajectory and benefit that a player gets from the hard work they put into this squad. It's something almost that too beautiful to describe.
We'll see what the call is here after the review.
Common foul.
Common foul is the call. And the foul's going to be called on O'Neal.
On O'Neal, yeah, okay, so that was the confusion there. So it's just a common foul off ball. So Fordham going that way.
It was O'Neal who pulled down Dean. I think I probably could have told you that one before we stopped for 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always fun to chat with you, Jazz.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Talk about that.
Dean.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Romad Dean fan club on Twitter. Hopefully they clip that. Let me go a little viral at Grilled Chaz if you needed a plug.
So it's Fordham basketball. Ryan Pettis back on the court in the second half. Advances into the front court. The handoff for Riley got disrupted. Fordham will keep it, though, on this near side.
Ryan Pettis again. Those dribble handoffs, a big part of this exchange-heavy corner-to-wing exchange offense for Keith Ergo. The freshman Ryan Pettis, again, just getting his sea legs under him.
Josh Rivera to inbound directly in front of me. Gets into Ryan Pettis. 13:48 to go in the second half. Fordham by 20. Pettis up high, hands off for Rivera. Bounce pass out to the far side for Zach Riley, still on the perimeter. Timbila, another handoff for Rivera, gets to the lane. Feeds Timbila now in the post. Timbila backing down. Makes his move, and they're going to call a walk on Abdu. His hook shot was good, but just moved his feet.
Yeah, just a little stutter step there. You got to keep that foot planted, especially if you're going to go hard work, dream shake level in the post like that.
So New Hampshire basketball in the backcourt. Hamlin crosses the timeline against Riley. Hamlin driving down low on Zach Riley. At the baseline, picks up his dribble. He's stuck in the corner, able to get it to Middleton. Middleton's hook shot, no good. Ryan Pettis the rebound. Pettis to Rivera. In transition. Feeds the post for Timbila. Working against Middleton, the freshman. Timbila will try the hook again. The soft touch from Abdu off the front of the rim.
Abdu Timbila, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's try it again.
Fordham by 22. That's 10 points now for Abdu on a perfect 5 of 5 shooting as Ryan Pettis gets called for the foul up top.
Upset at himself, Ryan, playing a little selfish basketball, put his hand in the cookie jar. You want to make them give you the basketball. You don't want to go out there and take it.
So New Hampshire basketball on the far side. They'll inbound in front of their bench through McComb. But for Fordham, a 22-point lead here with 12:53 to go in the second half. Holding New Hampshire to just 27.5% from the field. They get it in here towards Pieces. Pieces at the baseline will circle away from Timbila. Now will attack him. Pieces with the right hand shot, not close. Rebound Josh Rivera. Another contest from Abdou Timbila. Rivera will go all the way, and the finish and the foul.
Josh Rivera staring at the ESPN camera. Look at me now. His second and one opportunity of the day.
Rivera deciding to drive on the two UNH defenders. Could have kicked it out for maybe a three-point opportunity, but that's not what Josh Rivera does. Josh Rivera takes the ball to the hole.
Josh Rivera knows what he's out there to do. He's out there to score, especially when you're missing one of your main starters like Will Richardson. You know what you need to do, Josh Rivera. Go out there and dominate.
Free throw coming for Josh Rivera as Zona and Johnson check back into the game for the Rams. Dean and Timbila will check out. One shot here for Josh Rivera. It's good. He's 2 for 2 from the free throw line, and he hasn't hit the rim on either one. Josh Rivera, free throw extraordinaire. 2 for 2 from the line in this one. 56-31 Fordham. Hamlin against Johnson up high. 12:31 to go in the second half. Up high, this is Saunders trying to make a move on Pettis. Saunders backing down, had the height advantage, lost the ball anyway. Riley on the floor with it, ripped away by McComb, down low, an easy finish.
Keith Ergo's going to be okay with that. He loves the high effort play out of all of his guards, switching out of position. Tough way to lose a basket there.
Caleb Middleton, the freshman center, with the lay-in. It's 56-33. Fordham with the lead. Pettis at the M of the Fordham logo with his near side wing for Zach Riley. Double team up high. Riley cross-court pass to Rivera. Gets it in stride. Rivera tried to go for the slam, just lost the handle. Trying to bring the roof of the gym down with that one. Couldn't get it to go. Back the other way come New Hampshire. McComb bumps into Riley. Feeds outside. Rivera got a hand on that one. Out of bounds. I believe it's going to be a foul on Josh Rivera.
And you love a high effort play there out of Rivera. Not just out of bounds, a foul on Rivera.
Yep.
Foul on Rivera there again. So going for the ball, a little high effort play. Josh Rivera looking to make this Fordham team his own.
So with 11:39 to go in the second half, it's Fordham 56, UNH 33. We'll send it back to our Rose Hill studios for the one-on-one scoreboard with Kurt Sipple.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Now let's update you on the later slates of NFL games. In Minnesota, it's a cool 10 degrees, and the Cardinals are hoping to notch their 7th win of the season over the Minnesota Vikings. Kickoff is at 4:05 for that game. The Rams will be at the Superdome in New Orleans to take on the Saints at 4 o'clock. Should be a good matchup from the Crescent City. The Buccaneers are in the land of the Tar Heels, playing the 3-6 Panthers. Kickoff is at 4:05, and the Bucs need a win to stay in their top 2 spot in the NFC South. Last but not least, for your 4 o'clock game, it's the Battle of the East Coast Titans. Lamar Jackson and his Ravens will take on the Eagles at 4:25. And for last but not least, for some professional local basketball action later tonight. For the second time this week, the Nets will be playing the Magic, and the Nets will look to bounce back after a loss to the Magic on Friday, 123-100. The tip for that game is at 3:30. And last but not least, for your evening game at the Garden, the Knicks will square off with the Pelicans. That game will start at 6 o'clock. With your one-on-one scoreboard, I am Kurt Sipple.
Back inside the Rose Hill Gym, Nick Guzman here, alongside Chaz McAdams. Fordham with a 23-point lead over New Hampshire. It's 56-33 with 11:39 to go in the second half. And Chaz, for Fordham, I want to focus in here on Abdou Timbila. 5 of 5 from the field, really attacking the inexperience that New Hampshire has. They might be big, but a lot of freshman bigs playing for them, and Timbila's been able to go to work on offense.
They might have length, but they don't have the size. Abdou Timbila putting the shoulder in. He gets a lot of these bigs, these young guys like O'Neal, like Okpomo on an island right there on that left block. He likes to go pound dribble, facing the baseline, spin away, and that lefty baby hook. You practice that shot at an empty gym or one-on-one with your trainer a million times if you're a guy the size of Abdou Timbila, if you've been playing the game at this level for this long. Abdou Timbila sees guys like Okpomo, like O'Neal, like Middleton on isolation on that block and sees baby food.
It's a 9-2 run for the Rams over the last 4 minutes. Pull away here, up 23. Before that media timeout, it was a foul on Josh Rivera. So New Hampshire will inbound here in the front court. Poser able to get it in there to Anthony McComb III. Working against Ryan Pettis. Hamlin up high. Disrupted by Johnson. Hamlin drives down low. Kicks it out. Middleton for McComb on the outside. Middleton again in the post, working against Zona. Middleton, pass deflected. That's a shot clock violation. Unaware of how much time he had. It's a turnover for Caleb Middleton.
Look at Matt Zona, post defense highlight. You love to see those out of the kid from Rockland County.
Great defensive possession for Fordham coming out of that media timeout. Johnson advances the ball into the front court for the Rams. He's their leading scorer with 13. Josh Rivera on the far side wing will drive, kicks to the corner. This is Zona, thought about a three. Will hand off instead for Johnson. Johnson into the post for Rivera, spun around on the baseline. Lost the handle, but a foul is going to be called against New Hampshire. That's on Badger.
Yeah, Josh Rivera, again, his aggressive play draws a lot of contact. The way he's able to put his head down, shoulder out, not too much to do the offensive foul, but just enough to draw enough contact. He's a great person to rack up fouls, get you in the bonus, double bonus.
Rivera inbounds to Jackie Johnson. Swung out to the far side wing for Zach Riley, who feeds down low for Rivera. Spins again. Rivera again draws the foul. That same move, the spin towards the baseline, he's drawn 2 fouls in 10 seconds.
Jason Tatum Rivera out here spinning all over the place, getting whatever he wants.
So Fordham will inbound again down low. That's 6 fouls now on New Hampshire. Pettis inbounds to Johnson. The leaner from the corner's no good. Pettis, the offensive board, keeps the possession alive. Zona will try the three. Matt Zona off front rim. That's his shot. The three-point shot hasn't fallen for him so far this season. McComb feeds down low. Shot no good from Okpomo. But a whistle and a foul called against the Rams.
On Riley there. Interesting. I think Okpomo just hit the bottom of the rim, and Riley wasn't even there at that point. He was going for the rebound.
It's going to be 2 shots for Okpomo. 56-33 Fordham with 10:34 to go in the second half. Okpomo got the start, but has played just 12 minutes in this one so far. First shot is good. The grad student from Nigeria previously played for Wake Forest for a season and then 3 seasons at Temple. So well-traveled at some high-level schools.
Taking some tiers down, though. You don't love to see that trajectory going from ACC, then down to Temple in the CAAC, and then now in the AEC at UNH.
Okpomo misses the second. Rebound secured by Zach Riley. It's Fordham by 22 with 10:30 to go in the second half. Riley to Johnson at the script Fordham logo. Johnson feeds Rivera at the top of the key. The handoff for Pettis. That was disrupted. Back the other way comes Badrew with the steal. Badrew, the hop step in the lane, and a beautiful lay with the right hand.
Great play out of Badrew there. He knew exactly what Pettis and Rivera wanted to do, and that little Euro step was gorgeous basketball.
Back to a 20-point game. Johnson has it up high for Fordham with 10 minutes to go in the second half. Top of the key, Rivera. Handoff again for Pettis. Push to the wing for Riley. Feed down low for Zona. And a foul called again down low against New Hampshire.
Again, Matt Zona trying to get position there. A lot of post-positioning fouls called so far by the refs. They're paying a lot of attention to the block. Something to keep in mind for both Davis and Ergo as we draw into under 10 left in the half.
That's 7 fouls on New Hampshire, so Fordham in the bonus here. It'll be 1-1 for Matt Zona. 7 for 9 from the stripe so far this season. 9:54 to go in the second half. First shot good from Zona, so he'll get the second.
That's ACC ball. That's a grad transfer out of Notre Dame. Missing some threes. I know that's his game, and that's where he struggles. He's probably going to beat himself out about it, but you just know that he is a reliable from the charity stripe.
Now 2 for 13 on the season from deep, but you feel like that shot's going to start falling eventually as Zona knocks down the second free throw as well. You don't want to discourage him from taking those open looks.
Never, never, especially with a shooter like Matt Zona. He'll win you games with that shot.
Pieces the other way for UNH, working against Johnson. Pieces the crossover. Nifty move by Sammy Pieces, and gets the scoop layup with the right hand.
An inside hand for Sammy Pieces has been so great to him, using the glass to his advantage. Him and McComb just working in tandem as well on the offensive end.
20-point game again, 58-38 Fordham, under 9:30 to go in the second half. Zona, the handoff up high for Riley. Pettis feeds the post here for Rivera. The hop step, Rivera took the contact and finishes anyway. Josh Rivera, so strong down low. 60-38 Fordham, 9:10 to go in the second half. 10 points now for Rivera on 4 of 9 shooting. Pieces. Now up high, this is Okpomo. Handoff for McComb, attacking against Zona. He'll step back from mid-range, and that shot's money from Anthony McComb. Not afraid to shoot.
Not at all.
In transition, the long pass up ahead to Zona. He has it underneath. He's triple teamed. Zona, and that's going to be a foul, I believe, down low.
He's getting bear hugged there a little bit, though, no? Keith Urgo pleading as well.
8:48 to go in the second half. Zona will get subbed out here. Whoever the call was against Zona. Not sure if he stepped on the baseline.
3 seconds.
3 seconds.
3
seconds on Zona. Good call, Chaz. So Matt Zona will check out. New Hampshire to inbound in the backcourt. McComb almost lost his balance there, able to get it in to Pieces. 8:45 to go in the second half. 60-40 in favor of the Rams. Pieces against Pettis up high for Badrew. Straight away against Jamir Tripp. Badrew drives right. Took the bump from Tripp. The shot wild, no good, but cleaned up well by John O'Neill.
Again, John O'Neill, right place, right time, knows how to get position, even so young as a freshman.
8:20 to go in the second half. It's an 18-point game. Dean up high for the Rams. Hands off on the far side wing for Dean. Straight away, this is Jaden Smith for Medor. Pettis trying to feed the post. The pass wasn't there. O'Neill perfectly positioned. And back the other way come New Hampshire. McComb, the three in transition off the heel and out. And a push on that offensive rebound from Pozaire. That's going to be a foul against New Hampshire.
That's been the only way that New Hampshire's been able to get a lot of their rebounds. A lot of aggression down low. You can see why the referees on both sides are looking to the block for some off-ball fouls.
We've reached the under 8 media timeout with 7:59 to go in the second half. Fordham 60, New Hampshire 42. You're listening to Fordham men's basketball on WFUV Sports.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
In the Meadowlands, the Jets are trying to play spoiler against the Seahawks today, leading into this game, and Aaron Rodgers already with 2 touchdowns and Devontae Adams with receiving for 63 yards. This is a long time coming for the New York Jets. A preseason favorite to win it all, but flamed out after a collection of poor performances on the field and the firing of head coach Robert Saleh. Is this game a start of something new for the New York Jets, or will it be the same old Jets, and will they miss the playoffs for the 15th year in a row? Trevor Lawrence exited today's game after he suffered a cheap shot to the head against the Texans, sparking a big brawl. We will see what happens coming up in the coming games for the NFL. But for the one-on-one scoreboard, I am Kurt Sippel.
Nick Guzman here alongside Chaz McAdams. Fordham with the 60-42 lead over UNH with 7:59 to go in the second half. And we'll send it over one last time to the third member of our crew. It's Gabby Price. Gabby, what do you got?
Thanks, Nick. As I mentioned, the Fordham bench has been very active during this game in keeping the energy high. One of the words they've been using as encouragement on offense, on defense, and even to break the huddle is attitude. They've played a couple of tough games the past few weeks, and throughout everything, whether being up or down, there's an overlying theme of having a good attitude no matter the situation. And this goes all back to what Coach Urgo wants in order for his team to become the best they can be. He wants players who can connect with each other and trust each other, and I think we're seeing a really good glimpse of that in today's game.
Thanks, Gabby. Fordham with the 60-42 lead over UNH, 7:59 to go in the second half. Fordham needed a bounce-back win in this one. They lead by 18 here over the Wildcats. 13 points from Jackie Johnson on 5 of 12 shooting, 10 from Abdu Timbila, and then 10 from Josh Rivera as well. Rivera's been impressive in this second half, being aggressive on offense, taking the ball to the hole.
And he's been great off-ball defensively, too. You see a lot of UNH guys like McComb, like Pissis, just not able to get open when Josh Rivera is guarding them off the ball, doing a lot of deny ball tactics that UNH has been putting onto Fordham.
Free throws coming here for Jaffe Medor. First one is good. 61-42 Rams. 7 points now on the day for Medor, taking just 3 shots. And perfect from the line so far at 3 for 3.
And you love to see leaders like Jaffe Medor able to go out there and get buckets and assist the ball and just be a leader on and off the court.
Medor goes 2 for 2 from the line. Chaz, how about 10 for 10 from the Rams from the charity stripe?
Don't want to even repeat it for an announcer's curse.
Here's the other way. It's Hamlin up high. Pettis with the steal. Ryan Pettis on the fast break. He tried to throw it down. Missed the dunk. Medor's put back would not go. It's going to be a foul on New Hampshire. Ryan Pettis went for the highlight reel jam instead of the easy two.
And Pettis upset at himself for that one. He doesn't even like to be that braggadocious guy. But you get a steal at half court. You're wide open for the fast break. You want to just go up there and yam one on someone. But again, Jaffe Medor going for the follow-up for the young kid. And Ryan Pettis biting his jersey, upset at himself. Jaffe taking the jersey out of his mouth, lifting his chin up, saying, don't give up on yourself. You're on this court for a reason. You belong here.
And that's a play where, as Medor makes his first free throw, you probably could assume that Pettis is going to finish that, and Medor maybe doesn't have to hustle all the way down, but he does, and follows the play up and is able to get these free throws.
Fordham basketball, you know what I mean? You're always rushing to the ball.
Second shot from Medor is good. 12 for 12 from the Rams from the free throw line. It's 64-42 Fordham, 7:40 to go in the second half. Hamlin again watched closely by Pettis. Hamlin drives underneath, now circles back towards the perimeter. This is still Hamlin against Pettis in the lane again, off balance, blocked away by Smith. Tripp the other way leads the break. Chip lobs up for Medor, who lays it in. Beautiful, beautiful basketball from the Fordham Rams. In transition, a 3 from Pieces, no good. Rebound down low, couldn't be gathered by Poser. Tripp has it, and Medor can settle things down for Fordham with 7 minutes to go in the second half. They're up by 24.
What an athlete Jaffe Medor is. You didn't think that lob was going to go anywhere near the hoop, and he's able to grab it and score.
Pettis got stripped, able to gather in the backcourt, and can cross the timeline again with 13 on the shot clock. Tripp on the far side wing for Fordham. Will step into a 3. No good. Jaden Smith the offensive board. Smith working down low. Backing in on O'Neal. Smith flips it up. No good. Rebound secured by John O'Neal. Hamlin the other way for UNH. To the far side wing. That's a 3 from Pieces, and he buries it. Good shot there from Sammy Pieces. 66-45.
And you know Pieces is going to hit those. Those are his shots. Transition threes. That's what this team needs him to shoot.
6:20 to go in the second half. The Rams lead by 21. Medor out to the far side wing for Jamir Tripp. Tripp driving baseline. Kicks out for Dean. Dean, the triple. Too strong. Foul called on the shot, I believe.
And that's going to be on Poser.
Going to be a foul on Poser. 66-45 Fordham. 6:08 to go in the second half. Shots coming here for Ramad Dean.
Maybe that was just a little manifestation. Poser being a poser.
Yeah.
On the block there, trying to get the rebound.
Dean misses Fordham's first free throw of the night.
And that's fine. I'll take a missed free throw, especially from a guy like Ramad Dean. Doesn't get to the line a lot, but when you got guys like Jaffe Medor and Josh Rivera remaining perfect, the aggressive guys that get there all the time, that's how you know you're playing good basketball.
Second shot good from Dean. So the foul was on the three-point attempt. So still one shot to come from Ramad Dean. 3 free throws for him. Third shot from Dean is short, so he goes 1 for 3 from the line. Fordham by 22 with 6:05 to go in the second half. Pieces against Jackie Johnson, who's back on the court in place of Ryan Pettis. Pieces drives, Smith the help defense, the feed down low, laid up and in by Middleton. Smith just got a little lost there, trying to provide the help.
Yeah, reaction time just not there yet on the double team. Smith not knowing how to rely on a 2v1 situation.
Medor holds in the front court here for the Rams to the right of the Fordham logo. Hands off to Jackie Johnson. Johnson attacks to his left hand, forced to retreat. Smith at the top of the key. Handoff for Medor. Medor drives down low. The bounce pass for Smith. Smith down low, forces it up and in. Strong move there from Jaden Smith.
Love to see that from your 4-star.
Badrew the other way. Smith will get called for the foul here as he contested that shot in transition. Free throws coming for Khalil Badrew.
And what did I tell you about this UNH team, man? They are a parody of the Rose Hill Gym's faithful. They love to get up and down that 94-by-50 as much as anyone else, especially in the AEC. They play fast, just like UMBC, just like teams like UVM. You know they like to play fast. You know they like to hustle. You know they like to shoot. Fordham, with a good scout so far, able to slow them down and play in their half court.
First shot here from Badrew is too strong. Freshman from New Britain, Connecticut. Started. This is third start so far this season.
And you like to see this lineup. Matt Zona slotted at the 4, be able to get out on the perimeter a little bit more.
Zona in, Dean out, so Zona and Smith out there together. Second free throw from Badrew is good. 69-48 Rams, 5:19 to go in the second half. Medor up high for the Rams with the logo. Zona comes out to collect. Top of the key. The handoff for Tripp. Tripp drives. The feed down low. Wide open is Smith, who bricked the layup, but gets the second opportunity with no one around him.
He's just stat padding a little bit there. That was not a real miss, I promise, Nick Guzman.
Gets the offensive board. That's what it'll go down the stat sheet as. 71-48 Fordham. Keeps this the other way on Johnson. Feed down low. That's a turnover. Medor with the steal. Back the other way. Johnson will pop the 3 in transition. Too strong. Rebound Badrew. He lost it though. Stolen by Tripp. Medor gathers in the backcourt. All the way up ahead to the far side for Tripp. Down low for Smith. Went for the dunk and a foul called. As the shot wouldn't go, they'll whistle it on Middleton. And 2 shots coming for Jaden Smith.
Jaden Smith going to the line again. You see it in games where Fordham goes up a lot or down a lot. Keith Ergo not afraid to experiment with the young guy. He's like a newborn doe. His legs are a little bit shaky out there. He doesn't always know where he's supposed to be. But when Jaden Smith gets in the right position, you understand why he committed to Arizona State, why he is one of the highest recruits in Fordham's history. Look at Jaden Smith.
4-star recruit. That's Fordham's highest recruit. His scout grade of 81 was the highest for a Fordham freshman since 2009 as Jaden Smith makes the first free throw. Alexander Bohutsky will check into the game here. Jaffe Medor will come out. Freshman getting some looks. Smith, second free throw, perfect as well. 73-48 Rams, 4:28 to go in the second half. Hamlin the other way. Down low, Badrew slipped behind Zona and flips it up and in.
Miscommunication there.
Johnson the other way for the Rams. For Jamir Tripp on the far side wing. Zona has it straight away. He'll hand off for Jackie Johnson. Johnson steps into a 3 and he buries that one. Jackie Johnson finally gets one of those 3s to fall. 76-50 Rams. Anthony McComb on the far side wing. Drives down low on Tripp, but Jamir Tripp gets the steal. 4-on-2 the other way. The feed for Zona, and he dunks it. Matt Zona throws it down. Finally a made dunk for the Rams in this game.
Old man Zona getting up high, sky level. Here we go, Rockland.
Matt Zona touches the sky as the Rams lead 78-50. Badrew working against Zona will retreat back to the perimeter with 3:30 to go in the second half. Hamlin. McComb now against Smith, drives to the baseline. Smith goes up strong, contested on the first one, but McComb stays with it and flips it up and in. 78-52, 3:15 to go in the second half. Fordham will snap their 3-game losing streak here and move to 4-5 on the season. This is Johnson at the script Fordham logo, and he's fouled up high by McComb. 3:02 to go in the second half.
And Keith Ergo taking a quick 20-second timeout, looking to get some things right, maybe looking to make some quick substitutions. Ryan Pettis at the scorer's table. You love to see this Fordham brand of basketball. 5 steals on the night for Jamir Tripp. That's what Keith Ergo said he needed to see. If I know Tripp can score when I put him out there, but can he play Fordham basketball? Can he defend? Can he rebound? So far, he's got 4 rebounds on the night. as well as 5 steals. Wow.
So with 3:02 to go in the second half, it's Fordham 78, UNH 52. You're listening to Fordham men's basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hey, it's Chaz McAdams here calling you to tune in to WFUV Sports One-on-One, New York's longest running sports call-in show. With hot takes covering all sports from the 5 boroughs and beyond, to interviews with some of the biggest names in sports media. We're live Saturdays on the WFUV Sports YouTube from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then later on 90.7 FM from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Come join us next Saturday for One-on-One.
Can't get away from you, Chaz. You're on so many promos these days. Your voice.
I'm like Jackie Johnson. I got my fingerprints all over this station.
Fingerprints all over the station. It's 78-52 Fordham. 3:02 to go in the second half. Nick Guzman here alongside Chaz McAdams. Chaz Fordham are going to snap that 3-game losing streak. Losses to Drexel, Penn State, and San Francisco. They've run away from this one against UNH. And yes, the UNH team, that's 2-8. The only 2 wins coming against D3 teams. So it's a struggling Division I program, but Fordham, a lot of things have clicked out there this afternoon.
This is that iron sharpens iron mentality. You go down to Daytona Beach, and even though you lose by an average of 20 to both Penn State and San Francisco, 20-point losses to both those teams can equal 20-plus point wins versus a team like UNH and the other non-conference teams you'll be facing at the same caliber.
78-52 Rams, 3:02 to go in the second half. And you wonder now how long it'll be before maybe we see some of the walk-ons get some minutes here down the stretch.
I mean, did Santa come early? Was I good enough this year? Am I on the nice list? Because that's my Christmas present.
I mean, Jamison O'Toole has just moved up the bench in uniform.
That's exciting.
Fordham will inbound here in the front court through Jamir Tripp. Tripp inbounds here to Zona. Handoff up high again for Tripp. The baseline, beautiful move inside. Got clobbered, and 2 shots coming for Jamir Tripp.
The footwork there, especially from Jamir Tripp, pirouetting through the UNH defense. Those Wildcat guys were not messing around.
Timeout called here, 2:58 to go in the second half. 78-52 in favor of the Rams. But Chaz, when you look ahead at this Fordham schedule, non-conference, we got 4 games left after tonight. 3 of those 4 coming at home. You got FDU on Wednesday, Maine next Sunday, then Bryant at Mohegan Sun in Connecticut before finishing against Albany here at the Rose Hill Gym. Not a lot of time to perfect things before that A-10 opener on New Year's Eve against St. Louis.
No, not at all. But if Fordham can switch on a dime like we just saw them do today versus what we saw versus San Francisco, you don't need a lot of time to switch on a dime. Rhyming for me, huh?
Rhymes.
How about that? Rhyme, dime, time? Who are we?
Top of our game here.
Yeah, I mean, we're peak right now. Like, let's be honest, all the listeners right now, we're absolutely in the pocket.
I thought Jackie Johnson against Seton Hall was going to be the peak, but turns out Seton Hall just isn't very good.
Monmouth. Oh my gosh. First win of the season, double digits?
When you texted me that, Chaz, I was stunned.
Yeah.
For Monmouth to come on top over Seton Hall. Sheen Holloway's got some work to do with that program.
And that actually makes taking it more seriously in the narrative of this Fordham team kind of hanging their hat after those tough losses to Manhattan and Drexel on that Seton Hall win, becoming less and less legitimate as Seton Hall's barely floating around 500 right now in the Big East as a whole, looking a lot more vulnerable than it did last year, especially with teams like Providence not looking as strong as they did. So Fordham needs to start making some statements that aren't in the single win column. Go on a little 5-game win streak going into conference play. Get some momentum going into New Year's Eve when Robbie Avila comes into this gym, goggles and all, on New Year's Eve, trying to make the ball drop look less impressive than what he's going to do on court here in the 100-year-old historic Rose Hill Gym.
And it's easy to look at the Fordham schedule and mark off, okay, FDU, that should be a win, Maine, that should be a win. You still got to play the games.
Exactly. You still got to play the 40 minutes of basketball.
And there's still a lot to work on for a cohesive 40-minute effort is something that Keith Ergo's talked about a lot, is can this team click on all cylinders for an entire 40-minute game? It's been pretty good out there against New Hampshire this afternoon. 78-52, Fordham leads.
That's what it's all about, the connectivity that Keith Ergo keeps praising.
Free throws coming here for Jamir Tripp. The first one is perfect. That's 8 for him now. Tripp's been in double figures in each of the 4 games he's played since returning from that lower body injury that kept him out of some games early in this season. 8 points now for him. Make it 9 as he goes 2 for 2 from the line.
4 for 4 on the night.
It's 80-52 Fordham. In the backcourt, this is Hamlin with under 3 to go in the second half. Pahutsky watches him. Hamlin, the screen up high from Middleton. Cross-court pass into the corner for McComb. That's going to be a step-back triple, an air ball nowhere close. Followed in well by Middleton, and he gets the finish.
Importance of the box out shown there as Middleton's able to finish that wide miss.
Pettis into the front court, hands off for Pahutsky. Straight away, this is Tripp, finds Pahutsky again, thought about the triple, now will take it. Alexander Pahutsky parries the 3.
Love to see that out of Canada's finest, taking it for himself with the triple.
The 6'5 freshman from Toronto, Ontario, knocks down the triple. Badrew into the corner, that's another 3. That one's good. Nice shot there from Anthony Charoux. On the court for the first time in this one. Pettis up high, 83-57 Fordham lead. Pahutsky, he's gonna try it again. That's short. Shot no good. Rebound there from Hamlin. Smith watching him. Hamlin at the top of the key, 1:45 to go. He'll step back from mid-range and knock it down over Matt Zona. Timeout called here by New Hampshire.
Yeah, tough one there. Again, Matt Zona, it seems like he's playing good defense on all these shots. Hand up, hand right in the shooter's pocket, ball's in the right position. And I think Christmas came early for me as O'Toole, Nussbaum, and Miller check into the game. All guard lineup out here for the Rams.
The walk-ons on the court here for the final minute 30. Pettis and Pahutsky will lead the way, but Miller, O'Toole, and Nussbaum round out the 5 for the Rams. Pettis in no hurry here with 15 to shoot up high. 83-59 in favor of Fordham. It's Pahutsky now on the far side wing. O'Toole looks to set the screen. 8 seconds to shoot here for the Rams. Pettis for O'Toole. 5 seconds to shoot. O'Toole, Pahutsky puts it up. Too strong. Will get his own board. Pahutsky gets inside. Nussbaum calling for it. Pahutsky retreats to the perimeter. A minute to go. Pettis at the H of the Fordham logo. 9 seconds to shoot. The Rams kill the clock here. Pettis drives. O'Toole will pop the 3. Rattles in and out. Couldn't get it to go. Nussbaum tried to keep it alive. They go to the floor with it. Pettis thought about a 3. There's 42 seconds to go. Fordham keep the possession alive again. So close for Jamison O'Toole on the triple. 35 to go, 22 on the shot clock. As Fordham will improve to 4-5 on the season and snap their 3-game losing streak rather, here against New Hampshire. 23 on the game clock, 10 on the shot clock. Pahutsky turned it over looking for Miller. Back the other way comes New Hampshire, laid up and in by Hamlin. Shot clock turned off, 83-61. Miller, with 10 seconds to go, will cross the timeline and dribble this one out. Fordham improves to 4-5 on the season. They snap that losing streak. They defeat New Hampshire 83-61 and get back in the win column.
Great win for the Fordham Rams. That's the kind of win you need to turn things around. You expected this result from a team that wasn't on a 3-game losing streak, but again, mentally, you just never know what a losing streak like that can do to you. But great play all around for the Rams. You love what you see on defense, especially out of the kid from Brooklyn, Jamir Tripp.
So Fordham 83-61, the final score. Chaz, most impressive to me, might fly under the radar in a game like this, 17 of 19 from the free throw line for these Fordham Rams, something they don't do well all the time.
Way to be a sharp Nick Guzman. That's something that we haven't seen from the Rams yet this season, no matter the opponent, no matter how many times they get to the line. So great play all around for the Rams. You love to see a team like this being able to bounce back, especially after a tough trip to Daytona Beach.
83-61, the final score. We're joined now by Fordham Director of Player Development, Will Braden. Will, how you doing?
Great, doing great.
So you guys win 83-61 over New Hampshire. What impressed you most about that win?
I would say our commitment to the defensive end was pretty consistent throughout the entire game. Our guys really guarded and played a full 40 minutes of Fordham basketball.
Yeah, Coach talked about Jameer Tripp coming in, getting a bigger role as he comes out of the injury. 4 steals on the night for him. How important is his defense coming throughout the rest of the season as it continues to improve?
It's huge for us because he's known as an offensive guy, and for him to be committed to the defensive end, it's really going to push our team forward.
Then also for you guys, 17 of 19 from the free throw line, something that you guys struggled with last year. How good was it to see all those free throws go down?
It was great. I mean, we lost multiple games last year by 5 points, and free throws would have helped us out a ton. So, yeah, to see that today is a huge positive.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, Will, thanks so much.
Absolutely.
Final score, Fordham 83, New Hampshire 61, and that will do it here for myself and Chaz. We'll send it back to our Rose Hill studios for the one-on-one post-game show with George Sugatakis.
The one-on-one post-game report.
Wildcats by a score of 27, by 27 with a score of 83-61. I'm joined here by Kurt Sipple. And Kurt, opinions on this game so far, on this game at the end?
I don't know what else to say for the Fordham Rams today other than they did what they had to do. They got in and they got out the way that they needed to. And that's just the big thing, is that Fordham was able to take an opponent that, people weren't as high on in this game and beat them. And that's what you have to do if you're the Fordham Rams in a competition with 5 more games left in these preseason games that don't count towards your A-10 record. But, while, yes, it doesn't matter as much to a bid, maybe, because you beat a 2-9 New Hampshire team, it just gives you so much more hope for what's in the future for the Fordham Rams and what they're building on right now and what Keith Ergo is building on right now. Because when we saw at the Sunshine Slam, they did not do this. They played with life, but I felt like this game really felt like they punched back and they did what they had to.
They were playing with life at a time when they didn't have much momentum. And this is something that they did not lack at all this game. They never trailed.
And that's what you have to do, because you need by not trailing in this game, it just means that Fordham did what we've been saying that they have to do, and Keith Ergo has been preaching to the choir the entire game, is that they have to just come out and keep going and get it done. And
they were doing it on both ends of the ball, not just offense but also defense. And shout out Jameer Tripp, 4 steals. The kid from our hometown of Brooklyn, New York. 4 steals, not a great offensive day, but those 4 steals is what led to the transition offense and the points off of turnovers, which is something that Fordham was maximizing on today.
Definitely, and you need that. I mean, steals are... you weren't here yet, George, when we were talking about Rose Thrill. I wasn't here yet, but I was only a year out for Rose Thrill.
Me too.
And that gritty offense that they used to play, steals and getting on the ball and playing and diving for the ball and just
aggressive basketball.
Exactly.
Putting your heart into it.
And this Fordham win right today felt like the heart was in the game today. And even better for Fordham, something I wanted to point out to you that we can talk about just a little bit more, is free throws. We hit 17 of 19. The Fordham Rams.
Some of the best free throw shooting of our year, of the last 2 years. It's something that we've been lacking, but we actually knock down our free throws when we need them, and that's 17 points on top of what we had, which is a cushion.
You could just see, like, being lackluster at the free throw line just takes any mo that we ever have in most of these games and just rips it away. Because let's say you hit a clutch bucket and you have to get the free throws and you can't hit them and they're just hacking your team away. They know what your weakness is. And Fordham right now, if they've improved their free throws to a point where they can make them at a higher clip, the ceiling is high for this Fordham Rams team.
Most definitely positive future outcomes for this Rams. Next up, we have Fairleigh Dickinson University.
Yes, and I think, again, for the Fordham Rams, it's just going to be the same thing, is that you have to just play hard basketball. You have to get everyone involved, because I felt like today we had a lot of people involved for Fordham that we, again, don't get to see as much. Maybe it was because
30 bench points.
It was getting to be a blowout a little bit more. But even someone like, again, we always say it, I've always said it, at least, Matt Zona getting involved in a big way today. We had a big day. We were talking about Jameer Tripp had a big day today. Guys like that you need. And I'm going to just harp on it one more time. Run Jaden Smith out there. I just, the 11 minutes today, he had 3 rebounds. He had 6 points. I just think that Jaden Smith, we want to see what he's made of. Our sports manager, Lou Orlando, before the game, we were talking about him. We were talking about Jaden Smith to him. He's one of our broadcasters for Fordham men's basketball, and he said, I want to see what he's made of. And this is a game where we could see what he's made of, see what he got.
Give him reps. Give him time.
And I love what Keith Ergo did with this game, and I love what the Fordham Rams did, and I think that it's a win to be proud of as the Fordham Rams.
And we'll see what they can do against Fairleigh Dickinson University on Wednesday. Here from the Rose Hill Studios, I'm George Slugatakis, joined by Kurt Sipple, Lou Orlando behind the boards, Nick Guzman and Chaz McAdams giving play-by-play in color, Gabby Price on sidelines. Bobby Chaffardini is our sports director, and this Fordham men's basketball game has been a production of WFUV Sports.
We share Christmases of past, celebrations reflected in each ornamental glass. Every snowflake holds a memory that melts away too fast. I remember and still believe in love. I still believe in Santa's bells and the angels up above. I still believe in winter's magic dust. I still believe that dreams come